that's not right. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Well, actually, good afternoon now. I was in the middle of taking care of a few more things before I got on. But now I am ready to start. Matthew, they can hear you. Or at least your phone.
I forgot the volume was up. Okay.
I'm trying to get on the computator side. We need frog. Yes. Hello, Choco Hooligan. I heard you were mad. Oh, thanks, honey. You guys. Arxel, I'm going to send you that link in a minute. You guys, last night, well, technically this morning, I had the most hilarious of interactions. I will tell you what. And I'm gonna talk about it. I just gotta finish doing all this. My chair is breaking. I've had it now for going on 3 years.
Oh,
And honey.
you don't want honey, so honey's not gonna be very.
We have honey on the counter. Yeah, there's still some in the jar.
Oh, you already wrote it.
Well, I guess I'm gonna have to live. I don't get mad, I get even. How dare you? So last night, I belong to this group on Facebook, right? Okay? I belong to this group on Facebook, and in this group, we make fun of stupid dog owners. Because as you guys know, I'm a little animal crazy. And I know a thing or two about aminals, you know. And so my friend, who knows I'm a little animal crazy, added me to this group. And we all make fun of, again, stupid dog owners. Well, this woman, I guess she went and visited Boston. She jokingly wrote, "Me and my unvaccinated dog." Now, the thing is, I believe she means the jibby jab. Yo, Rona. But the comment section made me laugh because everyone was having a meltdown. Oh, well, we know what kind of person she is. Oh, well, we know. Oh, and they were all flipping out because it was a dreaded potential, because they went to her page, and her entire page was right wing. Nothing extravagant. It's just right wing. Well, they had a meltdown. How dare she? How dare she be right wing? And they were all like ripping into her, and so I jokingly wrote in the comments, "Well, whew, I'm alone in my views on this page." Because, you know, usually logic-minded people don't react the way these ladies and gents did. So, I would still, yeah, we would if we could. What my husband said, we'd use MySpace still if we could. But anyways, so, that leads into a conversation with some people. Nothing too bad. We're doing good, little fox. How are you, honey? Nothing extensively bad. Oh, yeah, she need a little sweetener. A little more. Sorry, I'm balancing out all the shit sitting on my desk. What, baby? You just got through saying the honey would not be as sweet. Oh, shit, help. Oh, I thought you were right behind me? Damn. I'm not. This all started falling. Woo! I'm just a mess this morning. Anyways. So.
Yes, she does still have Patreon.
I do, yes. Oh, no, it wasn't enough cream. I meant more,
Oh, you said creamer.
No, I said sweetener. Silly goose.
What do you need?
I need more, honey, baby. Honey, baby. Anyways. So, it leads back and forth in this little conversation between people. No big deal, right? And this one person, I'm gonna bring up the screenshot so I read some of this properly, because you guys, somebody knows who I am. I've never been recognized on Facebook before. Ark was up, and right now, you know why I didn't get it open. Ark was awake when I was posting this all on the Twitters, and essentially, this person started saying that clearly I must be unsafe to be around. Hold on. I must be a bigot, and I'm like, you're making an awful lot of assumptions about me. Have decided,
It was hilarious.
bro, the amount of copium that woman was posting. It's that convo, Raven. Raven, I posted it. I don't know if you read it on Twitter. Bruh, this woman went off on me. And she couldn't even write Trump. She kept posting a trumpet emoji. Hi, Moon! And it was just like, when I tell you, she's sitting there saying that I'm bigoted, that I... Mark, you go ahead, because your reactions were just glorious, and I still gotta get the screenshots up.
So she was saying that you're like a racist and you're a homophobe and you're transphobe, all because you were just calling her out on her stuff. And I was just sitting there thinking, 5 years ago this would have been hilarious. 4 years ago this would have been funny. Like, now it's just sad. These people never learn.
Oh yeah, she didn't understand what I meant by following the script, by the way. I loved it, Toasty. The picture you made for me was absolutely adorable. But yeah, Choco, she didn't understand when I said, you're following a script. It's just, what script? What do you mean? The script of non-bigotry? And I was like, yeah, okay, we'll go with that.
Oh, what's great is, as you were like live, I guess, quote unquote, live tweeting about this, and I was commenting, she basically said that she was reading my comments.
She was pretty much saying, what did she say? I forgot. Let me see.
I gotta find it.
I didn't state what mine are, assuming it's only two-sided nuance, ignorance. Because she said that, she said I assumed about her, and I said, did you not do the exact same thing? No, because I didn't state what mine are, assuming it's only a two-sided thing, the no nuance ignorance I expect from Trump, though. I said, this is you literally... wrote plandemic. That's what initially set her off. I wrote the words plandemic.
Mm-hmm. The part I was referring to was, she messages you and says, what is originality to you? That was absolutely hilarious. That whole, like,
the whole
paragraph. Yeah.
The meltdown. And guys, when I tell you this went on for, I don't know how many screenshots I posted to Twitter, but when I looked at the comments, I believe she and I alone did like 80 comments in the span of an hour. It was the most entertaining poop of my life. And it was just like, she was going off. But what she wrote to me was, based on political views, I'm going to guess you don't understand what selfishness is. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Ark. That sounds a lot like assumptions.
Yeah.
Sounds a lot like assumptions, and that's
to
what
me it does anyway. But I mean, once again, normal people have common sense. People like this person do not.
Well, clearly, you know I'm a racist, right, Arkansas, right?
Oh,
right.
You're also a homophobe, which is very bad. I disavow. I don't associate with those types of people. I wish you would do better.
I'm not a good ally anymore. I do not. I don't do enough to place aside my whiteness.
Gothics needs to make a statement.
Say it again?
Gothics needs to make a statement.
She does. She needs to come out. Leon needs to come out. Della needs to come out. You need to come out. All of you
Radio.
Radio
Oh.
needs to absolutely disavow me because clearly I hate her too. Sheep needs to come out and say something.
I swear, instead of laughing at this, well, I mean, I was laughing because it's
Oh
the
my
first
God,
time.
bro.
It was the first time I actually had fun with one of these people in forever, and like
Because I don't
seeing
know
them
if she was
just
going
get
to my Twitter
destroyed.
afterwards. I hope she was.
And most of the time when I see this out in the wild, like in the wilds of shitty Twitter or just completely degenerate Reddit, it hurts my head. I just
It
get a
does.
headache.
It hurts my head. Because my problem is this. It's like, I wouldn't mind, but guys, the reason why I'm getting to is that she literally eventually started saying, I knew I recognized you for your toothpaste hair. And just like going off like, you're a trash person, you're fat phobic. And I was like, I was waiting. Because I'm just, when I tell you, this is why I say it's a script. When she started literally just listing off, and I even called her out in the comments, I'm like, if you've seen my content, then you know that I work with everybody.
Oh,
you know that I've collaborated with POC and LGBT and da 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 da. And she's like, well, I hope they leave you.
Yeah, this is the best part. She says, what is originality to you? It's in that same little post, shitting on fat people.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen that. I've seen you encourage fat people to like do better. Hating trans folks for existing. Never once have I heard you say that.
Nope.
Being against women's rights. No, never heard you say that. Where's the evidence? Saying racist.
Because I said that I don't believe in killing kids and shit. I forgot. Women have to do that every day. That's women's health. Haven't you heard?
You guys have a quota, man. Like, come on.
I haven't murdered enough of my kids, guys.
Saying racist things and proudly posting them.
I need my followers to help me out here. Show me where I have proudly posted racist things. I'm waiting because I need to know.
I have no idea. These questions, these blatant, like stupid ass questions, are the questions that hurt my head. It's like they're just throwing these buzzwords out there, and they're expecting them to stick. When you make an accusation like this, you have to bring evidence to support it. You can't just say that you hate trans people without having evidence.
I know there's quite a few, but am I not like a Blair White simp, essentially?
Yeah, I would say that.
Let me see. Brandon says, Starsun really helps show and remind me people on the right in the States are good.
Oh, I think you're cutting out.
There we are. Okay, there you are. God. Apparently we had a moment because I'm not hardwired from my laptop anymore.
Oh,
so I'm hardwired on my main computer. Maybe I should switch that up, babe. Do you want to come in and do me that favor? You're being mean. Well, when you're all set eating, if you could do me that favor. Did she have a stroke? No, after 40. The thing is, I'm not hardwired on my laptop anymore. I think I have to get a second Ether cable. But no, the point is, like, guys, it's not racist to say BLM is a bullshit organization. It's not racist to say that affirmative action has been negatively affecting all communities. Like, that's why it felt so dark in here. Okay. There is a difference between, and this accounts for everything, okay? It doesn't matter what thing you're fighting against.
Oh, there it goes. I still can't hear you. Starzan, come back to me. No. Chat, can you hear him? Awkward silence. Okay, so you guys hear me, just not her. Okay, that's good.
Please hold.
Please hold.
There. This should resolve the problem.
Hopefully.
All right. Okay.
Now you gotta
I
start
just
your
started
statement
on
all over.
Okay. So, what is the last thing you all heard me say?
I don't remember because I was like, uh-oh, did I lose connection? What happened?
Hi, Orion. Yes, Mommy sees you. The point is, guys, it's not a racist statement when you're calling out facts and bullshit. It's kind of like when someone says, you were talking behind my back. Nay, I was stating facts about you. You just weren't present for it. There is a difference. And that is the same thing going on with this. If you say affirmative action is detrimental to the parties it was supposed to help, that's not racist. If you say BLM is a bullshit organization, that's not racist. Like, this is the point I'm making. That's their idea of me being a horrible racist. That I call out this bullshit.
Well, I mean, her statement right here is quit working with POC and LGBT folks. Well, she needs to check herself because she forgot the IAQ plus ampersand, etc., etc.
Inclusive.
So she needs to check herself on that. But then she says, while you actively post content that bashes them, once again making a very egregious statement with no evidence.
Yeah, that was my where's the proof?
This is the part that had me rolling. Expose yourself to literally any culture other than white supremacy, and she uses that dumbass YT because they're calling it whitey supremacy.
Well, not only that, but because I have found out that despite the fact that they don't like us, the overlords will whack you if you use the word white too much.
That's hilarious.
I found that so funny. That is literally their way to prevent them from being... The same reason why I don't write the word bitch on Facebook now is the same reason why people use YT instead of the word white.
It only a matter of time before they figure that out and they add that to the code.
Exactly. But it's just, when I tell you, it's like you said, expose myself? Number one, and again, I hate to have to do this because seriously,
how can you expose yourself more than art?
Like, to begin with, artwork, music, the people that I work with. Literally, my friend's restaurant I help with, she's Vietnamese. Her husband is black.
Well,
like,
damn,
I work with
that's
other
two right there.
And the thing is, half of them all agree. All my friends agree with me. Like, I literally, guys, I fucking couldn't. I couldn't deal. Like, I was dying laughing, and I just, at that point, I was like, I've got to share this. I've got to make content out of this. I even told the bitch, I'm like, don't worry, you'll be the star tomorrow. Everyone's going to hear about you.
What's hilarious to me, and what I found so funny, other than the ending of when you stopped posting the screenshots, is the first couple that you posted, because you guys were talking just straight up about politics. You guys were talking about politics, then it devolved into that because they decided to accuse you of things that you never did.
Because the thing is, they couldn't talk to me one-on-one about politics. And that's the problem. This is the biggest problem that I have. When you can't one-on-one me about normal stuff, and I'm not talking like If we're talking about pedos and shit like that, no. There's no decorum. Fuck you. If we're talking about you physically harming someone, as Abba and Preach say, grape juicing someone, no,
Woo!
no, you don't get decorum. Fuck you. But if we're talking policies, if we're talking ideals, a lot of people, the normal people, there are plenty of people out there, Christian being one of them, could absolutely tear my ass apart. I will never go toe to toe with him on anything politics. Animals, I got you, Christian. I can actually win at that. But but when it comes to the whole politics thing, people who cannot go toe to toe with me attack me for bullshit. Like, for instance, saying that I'm clearly fat phobic, even though I weigh 400 pounds. I must be racist, even though literally, and I thought about it, except for Hara and Murata, I have not worked with a single white person. That's like everyone is either black, Spanish, or Asian.
I think I can say that the only type of people I haven't worked with is Asians. Yeah, I think I can safely say that. But I mean,
dangerous rhetoric.
I live in the South, so I mean, what can I say? Like, my city is basically half and half black and white, and then you have several like smaller Mexican neighborhoods.
Yeah.
And mainly the only Asians that we have, they literally work at the Chinese restaurants.
Well, haven't you heard? They have to stay down there. Who's gonna pick the fruit? According to Nancy Pelosi.
According to Nancy Pelosi, that is correct.
Man, when I did a double take, I said, she said that!
That fucking woman. Oh my gosh, we're gonna be here for hours if we're talking about her, and double that if we talk about Kamala Harris.
Oh my god, that
those two are a powerhouse of insanity.
Of train wreck.
Just complete train wreck. It's like, did you really say that? And I want to throw in their sister, Miss Jill Biden, because of the breakfast taco comment, and that was a couple months ago.
And notice,
I still can't wrap my head around that.
See, what I can't wrap my head around is that lately, things that and maybe it's because I'm ignorant, I don't know. But again, and this goes back to this girl, things that would literally not even be noticed. Because I wrote that, as a matter of fact, going off in it. She said that I, in my political views, couldn't possibly understand the term selfishness and how to be empathetic with people. She also believed I was unemployed, by the way, guys. Now, any of my followers know I barely have any time to even play video games anymore, because right now I'm so busy with all of my different jobs, but I digress. She tried to talk to me about selfishness. I said, you know what's selfish? Telling people they can't have their own funerals for their past loved ones, holding a televised funeral for one random person. Not one, but two. Okay? Telling people they can't go out to events, and then you host a 600 guest party without masks. Telling people they can't go to restaurants, and then you go to a private event without masks. Telling people they can't go to the salons, and then you notice they go without a mask. I said, do you want to talk about selfishness? You want to talk about selfishness? Because I got you. She didn't make a single comment about that. She just started going off again about me being Republican.
Oh, yeah. Just immediately went off the deep end, because as soon as you come at her with some factual events that they literally happened, you cannot say they did not, because the mainstream media reported on them, and we all know that is where we get our facts from, based on the way these people act. That is what they believe, that you can only believe it if MSN or CNN, or they would even go so far as to say Fox News, because old Foxy boy, like, they're right on their side too.
It's ridiculous. I get so very, 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 very excruciatingly tired of all this. And the thing is, like, it's not that I don't get, to some extent, not wanting to hear the other side. I get it. I've been in The thing is, a lot of folks that I talk to, you're newly minted Republicans or newly minted conservatives. You haven't been around in the ditches as long as I have. And and the thing is, like, I remember when I was a little kid, we're talking like elementary school, and I would go to school, and we're talking 8-year-olds. We're like, I love Bill Clinton. Why? Like, we just go through picking our noses in the schoolyard. Why do we care about Bill Clinton again? And it was just like, it was even happening back then. I remember being in middle school and going to like Newberry Comics and shit and seeing anti-Bush stuff in the stores, and everyone said this was a total right and it was fine. But then anytime you saw anything anti-Obama, we've never seen a president treated so disrespectfully. Oh my god. I don't know why I became Jennifer Coolidge for a minute, but still. It's like, oh, Red, I need you to understand, Red, that I am clearly racist towards you, so I can't work with you anymore, my friend. I'm sorry.
Sorry, Red.
I had to tell everybody.
You gotta, I guess you just gotta leave.
Can't.
Same goes for Moon. Sorry, Moon, we love you,
Moon,
but
I can't talk to you anymore. God.
yeah.
Oh no.
It's so sad.
What have I done? I have to do better. That was the fun. She really did say do better, and I kept saying it back to her as a result.
Oh my gosh, that, like, when you hit her with that do better gif, I was like, oh no, here it is. Here it is.
The best part is she gave up after that. She had nothing else to say. She just sent me a little picture. You know that the stickers in Facebook that look like bears but not quite like bears, they're like square shaped?
Yeah.
She sent me a picture of one of those sitting on a throne with a crown and a scepter.
Oh,
and I'm
so
like,
she's the queen of bullshit. Gotcha.
I guess so. Like when I tell you, my God, and again, this goes back to it. I have been in the political discussion for years, not out of like choice, but I was talking politics before it was cool. And I got told all the time that, oh, you like Bush? You're a Bush supporter. And then it became, oh, you don't like Obama? You're a racist. Oh, you support Trump? You Trumper? It's the same narrative over and over again, and that's why it's like, I'm head out. And it's like, when I hear all my friends, like, again, I love Gothics, but when I hear her talk about some stuff, I'm like, oh, you new around here? Like, I'm a little jaded to it because I'm just so used to it now. And when I hear the way people get now, there is no middle ground anymore. They at least used to say it and then be like, oh, ignore Cassie, she's a Bush supporter. Or ignore Cassie, she's just a racist. Like, when they say it like that, even they knew they were kind of bullshitting.
Oh, yeah.
But now, simp voice, take me back, Star Son, we can make it work. I'm sorry, that's not very alpha male. You know, oh my god. And it's just like, it's all right, Red, we'll make it work, baby. And when I tell you guys, it was just hilarious because she just started going off about how, and I said to Ark, I said, I could have been a black, fat, trans, paraplegic, Muslim, and she still would have called me all those things. Because if my opinion is that, with Trump, my taxes were lower, work was booming, and opportunity was exactly. Sorry to hear about that. Wait, what happened to Silvar?
He's a little under the weather.
Oh, you feel better, honey.
Mm-hmm.
Silvar's an OG. He's cool. I like him.
Oh, I don't like them either, Red. I don't. Nope.
The problem is that you've got people. I'm not saying there aren't extremists. I know. I've talked to some of them. Hell, I'm probably related to some of them. But the thing is, extremists get birthed from extremism.
Very. This might be a spicy statement.
Go ahead.
But same goes for pedos.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, they getting braver now.
I
so brave now.
Listen. We saw this when they started adding
Remember.
letters into the alphabet soup.
And you know what? I don't know. I know I've said it on the stream before, but it's probably been a while. Ark, let me tell you something. And by the way, the reason I'm not painting is because I'm doing the face, guys, and I want to make sure nothing bleeds. My grandmother, my deeply religious, bigoted, angry, bitter grandmother who was so into the church, she would buy the bishop's gold money clips, and I mean that, looked at my parents back in the 80s and said, it's not going to stop with the gays getting marriage. You think they only want marriage. That's not where they're stopping. The homosexuals will get worse. She said it a little worse than that. I'm using the most rough terms I can.
Yep. I completely agree with that statement, because guess what? Me at 24, I heard my own grandmother say something very similar. I heard my grandfather say it too. Like the older generation, they knew.
They knew.
That's the thing. That's the thing with this wave of representation. They have always been there. The gays and the bisexuals and the lesbians, right. They have always been there. And then you've always had offshoots like drag and like cross-dressers and the trans. At first, it was called transsexuals.
Now it's transgender. And my thing is this: I still hold true to, number one, as a Catholic, I was raised to believe you love everyone, no matter what, and you don't force the word of God. So I never have. I think I've done a pretty good job of following that teaching from my church. I feel like I've never really pushed anything upon you guys. And I try to make sure I love all, because I try to operate in the way that you see how I act in life. Maybe you want to follow the word of God the way I follow it as well. And that's fantastic. So when people try to use that against me, say, well, it's because you're religious. No. Because my deceased best friend wanted to be a drag queen. But he would never, ever have thought it was okay to do in front of children. And that's the problem I'm having, is that we are morphing into now this why not? Why can't we? Why is it not allowed? And it's like, I know I'm going off on a tangent, but I promise there's a rabbit hole here. People don't understand why I'm mad about Lizzo. And before you comment, everyone, I'm not mad for the reasons you think. I don't shivagit she touched the flute. She's a very talented flautist, and she played it beautifully. I'm okay with that. I don't give a shit about that at all. What I do care about is in the minimal seconds she held that flute, she didn't feel confident enough in her skills. She had to bend over and shake her ass and twerk.
Yep.
And everyone says, well, that's just who she is. Being a hoe is not a personality trait. Let's start with that. Second off, if you cannot go 2 seconds without making sure someone notices your body, that speaks to mental health. Okay. Some kind of insecurity. Massive insecurity. And to me, that was the start. Because I talked to Gothics about it a few weeks ago on her stream. I truly believe, and I may sound crazy, what started this whole thing was breaking down the barriers and making things like Casual Friday, or not dressing up anymore when you go out, wearing lazy clothes. It sounds great in theory, but when you break that, because the thing is, going out dressed nice, that's something my parents always instilled in me. Why? They said it's not just about you. You are telling everyone you respect the general public by dressing properly. When you make sure your clothes fit, when you make sure they're clean, when you make sure you smell nice, when you make sure your appearance is nice, you're saying not only do you respect yourself, but you respect the society that you're walking into. And my father has said it, and maybe if you're a Patriots fan, you recognize it, act like you've been there before. And what that means is don't be crass, don't be crude, don't be ratchet. Don't go walking in and be like, oh my God, look at that! Like, you walk in and you go, oh, this is amazing. And you move on with your life. And the thing is, I truly believe that if we were more pushy with people, to take themselves more seriously, to dress proper, to be, we would not be where we are. But it started with not respecting yourself in public. Then it
Yep.
went on to, well, why can't I act this way in public? Well, why can't I perform that way in front of people? There's a difference between pushing limits to create a new thing and then pushing limits to destroy everything. And that's what I feel. Now, Ark, you can tell me I'm crazy.
No,
I don't know.
I'm like, okay, maybe we're both crazy because I literally agree 100% with your statement. Now, when you first said dress nice, I was thinking, oh no, are you saying go out in a suit and tie every day? Like,
I mean,
what
I
are you
wouldn't
saying?
mind, but
I hate wearing suits, and so like for me, um, it doesn't matter what I wear as long as it's nice. And when you clarified what you meant by dress nice,
Yeah.
then I was like, oh yeah, I'm completely on board with that.
Now I will also clarify, if you guys all want to start wearing suits again, fuck yes. But anyways, continue.
No, I'm not in that. I'm not in that mindset. My father was. My father wore suits for quite a while, but now he's getting up there. He's more of in the leisure wear now.
Right. Like he wears pressed khakis and a polo. Like if you guys met my father, my dad never go my dad's 72 this year, okay? My dad always, you can smell the starch and cologne on him whenever you see him. My dad's hair is always combed. His face is always properly shaved. He always has, even when my mother was dying, guys, I want you to think about this. Even at that point, my dad made sure when he walked out in public, he looked appropriate. He did not want to embarrass himself. He didn't want to embarrass my mother. Like when I tell you there is a reason I say it, because it shows that at the end of the day, you have a respect for yourself. And that's why when people say when you dress like a hoe, there's a girl that I follow on Instagram and she's an exceedingly talented dancer. And you can tell that she did gymnastics when she was younger because her body is formed like a gymnast. And you can also tell that she doesn't like that. And what I mean by that is if you look at her Instagram, she is dressed always so scantily clad that sometimes it's borderline nudity. She does a lot of thirst traps. And she does a lot of videos where all she's doing is posing sexy. And my thing is, she doesn't have to do that. She's a very talented dancer. She has a lot of skill. Her skills have brought her far. But you can tell that what she needs is someone to affirm her body. And as a result, because she cannot love her body the way she needs to, she is looking for affirmations elsewhere. And she's disrespecting herself in the process. And people will come at me and say, well, that's just her owning her body. Is it though? Because how many people do you see that do that come out later and say, you know, I wasn't happy. Oh, I had body dysmorphia. Oh, I had an eating disorder. Like, it's not about respect. We have tricked ourselves, just like we've tricked ourselves into thinking that women's health is offing our kids. We have now tricked ourselves into believing that posting thirst traps is anything more than just looking for a pat on the shoulder to make ourselves feel better. To get affirmation for love in the cheapest way possible because we don't feel confident in any other part of ourselves. I don't know if I'm going off on too much of a tangent here, but like,
no, it all ties in. Like the way you act out in public, it influences people. It definitely influences children. And those children, if they see the majority of people acting that way, then they will emulate that, and that is how culture changes.
True. And
if they don't have strong parents, or if they don't have if they don't have parents at all, like then that is how it spreads rapidly.
I agree. And the thing is, like, Gerald just said, people mean conservatively. I don't even mean dressing conservatively, but, like, if you're gonna wear a mini skirt, make sure it's a nice one. If you're gonna wear high heels, don't wear these chunky stripper heels. Wear high heels. Like, there's just you can tell the difference. You can tell the difference between self-respect and thirst trap. Between I'm dressing for success and I'm dressing for eyes. Like, you can tell the difference, and I guarantee everyone just had an image in their head of what they think the difference is. And that's the thing.
But it
We
also,
break down too many barriers.
yeah, I agree. But dressing for success, that is also relative, because dressing for success for a plumber is wearing blue jeans and a neon colored t-shirt for safety.
I agree, because if you have a plumber who shows up in ill-fitting overalls and his ass crack is hanging out and he's got stains all over him and he can barely keep himself together, do you want that plumber? Or do you want the plumber that shows up in the proper gear, proper fitting outfit, and he's got safety gear on?
Yep. It's all about presenting yourself, because what is it? Like the first opinion is made within like the first second of seeing someone.
It is. It's first impressions. And that's the thing. That's why when they tell you show up to an interview, dress nice, that's why they say it, guys. That's why they say it. I had a friend, and I love her dearly, but she got mad at me when I told her to show up nice for an interview. She said, but that's not the real me. They don't give a shit about the real you.
No, they don't.
You're not there to be the real you.
You are literally an object that is supposed to make them money.
Because she wanted to go in. Now, I want you to think about it. And this was over a decade ago. She wanted to go into Macy's to get a job as the registry manager. Now, she had the know-how. She had the experience. She had the know-how. It's fucking Macy's in Rhode Island. It was one of the biggest Macy's in the Northeast. And she wanted to go and be representative. She wanted to wear outdated clothes. My friend did not believe in getting her hair done. So her hair usually, because it naturally was very frizzy, she would, remember those old headbands that were stretch and you put it in?
Yeah.
And it pretty much just shoved your hair. It was a bunch of combs that shoved your hair back.
Yeah.
Okay. She would wear those. She did not wear makeup. She did not wax or shave her face at all. And she showed up to the interview like that. And then she got very, very mad that they denied her. And she felt very insecure because all the other girls were dressed very nice and they had makeup on. She's like, they're going to judge me based on my looks. It's Macy's. Yes, they are. Of course they are. Look, is it fair? No, but if you want them to pay you, you gotta play the game. And if you don't want to have to do it afterwards, fine. Just do it for the interview. Usually, once you show up and you do the work afterwards, sometimes they don't give a shit at all. But you have to get there first. And that's the thing, guys, because if you show up with your hair frizzy, your eyebrows a mess, your lip not shaved, which most females over the age of 30, guys, don't lie, we all have it. If you show up in dresses that look like they came from Pottery Barn or Dress Barn, which was a place back then, and trust me, Dress Barn was for older women, they don't want you there. No matter how skilled you are. Macy's is all about image. If they cared about quality, most of these people will go to a cheaper store that sells better stuff. They don't do that. They want you to know they shop at Macy's. A wedding registry especially. And so that's the problem that I'm having. And that was back then. And now everyone feels that should be the case now. That they should be able to show up with hair like mine, 50,000 piercings, dress like a slob, and say, well, you should give me a chance. Why? Why should they give you a chance? You couldn't even respect them enough to try and show up looking nice. Well, that's not who I really am. You're not there to be your authentic self. You're there to get an authentic paycheck.
Yep.
And again, it's like this Virgin Airlines thing. Oh, our steward, our staff is going to be their true authentic selves. Now you're putting the
Girl, they're going out of business.
Right.
There's no way, with the way Virgin Airlines was originally, how crap their service was, there's no way that they can survive. See, that's the thing. SJWs, if they even fly, if they're like not an environmentalist, like a crazy one that is against flying,
Virgin Airlines.
SJWs want comfort, and they won't get that with Virgin Airlines. They have to go to
expensive and uncomfortable.
Yep. And so they just shot themselves in the foot, because you're gonna have a bunch of when I say conservative, I mean like how we were talking about conservative dressed.
Right.
You're gonna have a bunch of people like that, which can be liberal, Democrat, Republican, conservative. You can be any of those and still respect dressing conservatively. You have a lot of people like that won't fly on Virgin Airlines anymore, and they just lost millions of dollars.
Tons. Because the thing is, I don't care who you think your authentic self is. I care if you can hand me my peanuts, my barf bag, or my belt extender. And the thing is, now it puts the, I think it's called the onus of responsibility on your people on flight, that they have to use the proper pronouns for your flight attendants, because otherwise they're 3,000 feet in the air. What are they supposed to do? Is the air marshal going to arrest them if they misgender a flight attendant now? Like, I'm genuinely wondering what's going to happen to a guest that maybe politically doesn't believe in that.
See,
like,
Silvar,
there's so many implications.
Silvar just said, if you want to be a rock star, then commit to learning music and practicing with the band and getting gigs. Otherwise, that isn't your authentic self.
There you go.
To an extent, I agree, but not with the millennial generation, and not with Generation Z. Because you don't have to be your authentic self to get ahead in life. You can fake it and make it.
Very true. Very true. Well, a lot of people don't want to hear the truth about a lot of this stuff. Like, so, if you've noticed, people don't want the truth. Look at this TikToker just got exposed on Facebook. They were posting fake donation videos. It was their friend. Like, it wasn't even just that they tricked a worker. No. They went a step further. They went and bought a bunch of Starbucks drinks and a fake Starbucks, whatchamacallit, a fake Starbucks apron, had their friend put it on, and then bring a bunch of drinks, and then they faked bringing them out a bunch of money for a tip.
Wow.
I'm like, that's taking it extra. Hi, Mitchell. Oh, bye, Brandon. I didn't see it. Sorry, I'm facing the other way, guys. I had to jerry-rig everything to make sure that I have the thing set up. But this is what I'm talking about. Like, everything was fake these days. Everything was fake.
Oh.
Then you have people finding realities, and they get mad about that, like the whole Adam Levine thing. Everyone's like, oh my gosh, he cheated on his wife. He's a famous person. Have you not noticed a pattern, first off? Second off, did you not notice the week after she's still with him? Which means, guess what? He was in on it, kids.
What do you think about the quiet quitting trend?
Oh no, I only saw it in passing. I have no idea what it actually is. Please enlighten me.
So the quiet quitting trend is where you do the minimum amount of tasks possible to keep your job, and you're basically waiting for your bosses to fire you.
I think it sounds incredibly lazy. Just fucking quit. Like, because when you said that, I thought that meant, they no call, no show. That's what, when I hear the words quiet quitting, I assume no call, no show.
Oh, I've done that many times. Like, they're like, I'm just
I've only
done.
done it once. I only ever did it once, and that was for Bath and Body Works. Because you couldn't swear. like even off hours. Because Bath and Body Works, like when I tell you guys, they're kind of like Disney World in the way they set everything up. As soon as the store closes, they lock everything, and you have to work in silence, assembling the whole store. And that's why when you go, it's like almost overnight. That's because it is overnight. They assemble everything in one night. You work till it's done. And during that time, you can't listen to music. You can't chit chat. And if you get heard swearing, you get written up.
That's a horrible way to operate your business.
And I got written up because one, they said, one of the associates, because I worked overnight and I worked on duty, and I left a decent job, but that was stressing me out to the 9th degree because they compromised my my morals. They were giving used and broken furniture to guests, and they were doing it under my name. And I was like, I don't ever do that. And then they did it again, and finally I was like, I'm done. They tried to force a management. It was the whole thing. But anyways, so Bath and Body Works says to me, well, you come work for us. We will give you a full-time position after the holidays. So I busted ass. I showed up for every shift they asked me for. And then the first time I swore overnight, they pulled me aside and told me how inappropriate it was. And I was like, are we not all adults here? Yes, we are. I'm like, why can't I swear? Is there a guest on the floor? No, but you're not allowed to speak that way. Okay? And we were all forbidden from talking. If we talked more than a few seconds, mind you, our hands could be moving. We could be doing everything we're supposed to do. If we're caught talking for more than a few minutes, the manager would come over and be like, what are you girls doing? Why are you doing that? Oh, okay.
That sounds depressing.
Oh my God, it was so depressing working there. And then, when I was on duty during the day, one of my associates, her boyfriend came. She was in the back having a break. He came to bring her, I think, food or something. And so I went in the back and I said, girl, your man meat is here. That's all I said. After my shift, I got pulled aside. And they said, we're writing you up for sexual harassment.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I said, excuse me?
I'd have been done.
She said, I think her name was April or something like that. She said that you made a penis joke about her. It made her very uncomfortable. You made sexual word. I said, I called her boyfriend man meat. She goes, yes, that's highly inappropriate. Is that how you talk to other adults? I said, it's how I talk to my mom. And because at the time my mother was still alive, and they were like, well, that's not how you talk to us here, and if we catch you doing that again, we will have to write you up at corporate. I was like, are you serious? And she was like, yes, I'm very serious.
I got told at my not this last job, but the one before that, I got told that I was too snippy in emails. I was like, how can you be snippy in emails? I tell them exactly what I need, when I need it, and how I need it. Send.
How dare you?
And I always say thank you, like at the end of the email, like I'm writing a letter. I always say thank you. Like, come on, man.
That's the weird, because they will take us. Thank you. I've had to do it with my own corporate emails. I've been like, thank you so much for your time, and I wait for your reply. Now, I have been a bitch. There is corporate bitchiness, I won't lie. But I've been in corporate a long time.
Oh, I have received emails saying, as per my previous whatever.
That is one of my favorite things. That's literally saying, bitch, since you didn't read it the first time, let me repeat myself. But let me tell you something. That was something, going back to that woman we talked about earlier, the one that was mad at me. She literally said, because you couldn't stick it in corporate. Bitch, they were asking for me back. They were waiting for me they still are waiting for me to come back. The fuck you talking about? Retail is like air to me. I can do it easy. I was requested to come and be an assistant. I became an assistant, didn't work out. And I was so good at what I do that without any chance of me being successful, I started it and became successful at this. Fuck you. And Haru Emirata said it perfectly. She said she's mad because you have a supportive husband. She's mad because you're making your own money and you're calling the shots. And she's 100% correct.
Mm-hmm.
I will say this though, guys. That just reminded me. Keep an eye out on my videos. I am having announcements soon. And Ark, it's the things that I showed you that I haven't posted yet. Do you know what I'm talking about? Remember those pictures I showed you the other week?
I have an idea. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All those drawings I showed you, I got cool things happening. It's massive for me, just not massive on a whole, but it's massive for me. But anyways, keep a thought on that. The unsuccessful fat-phobic, transphobic, racist, homophobic, YT person has more success still. Anyways, and I don't mean, and I hate it because it sounds very braggy to me right now, but I don't.
No, revel in your success for a little bit. Come on. And
that's the thing. Like, I want to ask all of you who've been following me now. Next month will be a year. I have been a YouTuber, quote unquote, for a year. How often have any of you? Because Ark, I think you're pretty new to my channel in relative terms.
Yeah. I'd say you've been on my radar of people I've watched since about July. You rated Radio one time, and I was like, "Who's Starzan?" And Radio was like, "Oh, she's wonderful." I was like,
Radio's a fucking gem. She really is. I want to pinch her cheeks.
You get a chocolate for that.
Oh, apparently someone's at the house. Don't know who, but Orion's telling us. But I want to ask you guys, how often do you hear me act arrogant or brag on myself? Tell me, so that way I can, because I don't enjoy doing that. Hold on.
Oh, I get to take over the show again.
I had to yell at my dog.
Oh, never mind.
I promise you. I made the mistake once of shouting at Orion with the microphone on, and I had a bunch of earphones. My ears. I forget how loud I am sometimes. Hold on.
Oh, it's back to me, folks. It's mine. It's all mine. I have 10,000 YouTube subscribers. It's all me. I did all of this hard work. How are we doing, chat? I've watched you since the Rittenhouse videos. So Moon says that she's watched you since the Rittenhouse video. I also saw your older videos.
So Rittenhouse is my first video.
Really?
Yes, the Rittenhouse is my first video. And I have other videos, but I posted them at, if you look, my oldest video is from like 2007. I joined YouTube within 3 months of it being a thing. My YouTube account is 16 years old. So when someone's like, "What made you decide to make a YouTube account?" I'm like, it existed.
Yeah. That's like my YouTube channel was my personal YouTube channel that I would it was just my account. I just had it. And then all of a sudden people were like, I started my Twitch because I didn't know like how YouTube worked and everything like that. And people said Twitch was easier to start on. And they were partly correct. Now, I will say, even though it's harder to grind on YouTube and get to that 1,000 subscriber milestone, it is far, far better than getting partner on Twitch, even before they messed with the partner program on Twitch.
Really?
So, yeah, because it's because now on Twitch everything's a 50-50 split no matter who you are. But yeah, with
I heard
YouTube,
who mentioned this? Someone I know mentioned this, and I was like, "Damn, it sounds like they're really taking more."
Might have been Shags, because I know he's talked about it.
All I know is that,
yeah, I just switched my YouTube up, changed everything, and here we go. Rocking and rolling.
Italian says she's loud. Bite me, Silvar. And it's just like I will say this. I was very charmed when I got lucky. With my first 1,000, it came very quickly, and my first several thousand came very quickly. And some people laughed at me, but I genuinely think that they realized after I started, because my growth was 1,000 a week. Like,
that's great.
it was amazing. And then it's like, and I was telling Leon this. It went up, and then it stopped completely and went straight down. I went from getting 1,000 a week to 2. And he's like, "You weren't Shadowman." I'm like, that is literally the definition. Like, somehow, I could understand a slow decline. Like, if I go from 1,000 to like 600, 200, like you see a slow decline, that would have made more sense. For it to be a literal like just, that doesn't make any sense. On a technical scale, it makes 0 sense. So that's why I'm like, I know something's up. I have no idea what the thing is. And ever since then, like, now, Leon helped me out immensely. He featured me in a video. That got me a good couple of thousand. And then, as we know, I worked with Michelle. She got me a couple of thousand. So I know that it works. But now I'm going to keep grinding, because after that... And you still were not Shadowman. Bite me, nephew. But the point is... You know, I have very nice growth. And someone said to me to go on Twitch. I've been recommended to draw on Twitch, and I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. Why would I draw on Twitch? It felt like it's too slow of a thing. You know? As it is, as we can see, I have a hard time drawing and talking. Let's just put me on Twitch where it's going to be even more difficult. Know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. I does. Also, Leon, when you gonna stream? Huh? When you gonna stream?
Ooh. Did you behave whilst I was gone? No, of course, we behave, never, Choco. I don't remember when I found your channel, but I think, Silvar, you found me through Leon. Because I would go onto his stream and talk in the chat. Because I believe it was you, Mitchell, and one other person started talking to me after I was either on a stream with Leon or was in the comments with Leon. But yeah, I mean, I've said it before. The 2 top people I owe a lot to for my growth are Gothix and Leon. You're wrong in the dumbest degree, and it's embarrassing you still talk like you know how YouTube works because you weren't getting subscribers as much more. All right, whatever. I said what I said. All I know is that for it to drop like that, it was weird. I found Leon through Gothix, and I found... Shut up, Matthew.
I found Leon through Rady. But I found Rady through Rippa, and also Horror through Rippa, and I found Shags through Horror. It was like, it all stems back to Rippa. Good old Rippa.
Oh, God. The people going after him for the... dumbest shit.
Oh, he has a fake warehouse with a fake comic book company making a fake product.
All those boxes are fake. The books you guys got, fake.
Why he got totes?
How dare he, like, store shit? Ugh, weird. Right, babe? It's all fake. All of Rippa's art is fake. Email uniform, thank you. Oh, it's striped. Well, there we go. Oh, is that? Okay, thank God that's what I was following. Last year was a great year for me. I've been hovering around the same number for a while. Yeah. At this point, it's just a grind. And whatchamacallit? What I tell them the same thing is this. The point is, if you're not doing well, then you have to fix yourself. That's the main thing. Thank you, Toasty. I got distracted. I'm trying to get the uniform right. This is a commission. But, yes, husband. Oh. You stop pressing my buttons. Literally, there's a little thing with buttons on it. He always presses it when he comes in.
I'm the longest tenured follower
Mhm,
of
mhm,
Tarzan, so yeah.
But yeah, well, you know who Young Ripper is, right?
Sure.
Can't stand you.
Did he say no?
He said, "Sure." My husband doesn't pay attention to anything. He thought we were talking about my artwork when he was shouting through the room. And that's why I asked him. I was like, "You know who?" He's like, "Sure." I knew you weren't listening. What?
Hey,
What?
I know everything.
You do?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
I have my doubts. I will eventually get the comic. It wasn't something that I could put into the books right now for my own monetary reasons, but I support in my heart. But the point is, like, people got mad at him. How dare he? Someone said it was a conflict of interest that he put his wife's jewelry in in his book. Excuse me?
Starzan, I have ISOM #1. I
That's
immediately flipped to that article, like to the advert. It is so tasteful. It is centered properly. It is
Fake
a
news.
blip because all you have to do is just turn the page one more time and you get right back into it. You do not lose immersion. You do not lose anything. And it is literally the only ad. The only other thing that I could see, quote unquote, advertised was he saying Backwards is coming back. They got more music. Stay tuned.
Fake
It's literally
news.
it. So it's his wife and then his band.
But that's
I got it right now. Let me see. I'm gonna go through it. Let's just leaf through it.
And my thing is, like, I'm kind of picky about my jewelry. Now, not everything she makes is my taste. But there's stuff that I really like from her, and I'm gonna order it. Like, there's these really cool blue gem bangles that I'm not bangles, dangles. And my issue is they don't understand that when you're the publisher, when you're the creator of the publishing name and it's your book, like, you own everything, you can advertise whatever the fuck you want in it. Like, there is no conflict of interest.
Okay, so he has like a what's to come next page, like what's to come, like a sneak peek of the next part.
Yeah.
ISOM #2. And then you turn the page, then he has a let's just use what a detractor would call it, an advertisement for Rippaverse.com. Oh, almost like you should advertise where to buy the frickin' comic in the first place.
Now, why are you saying things like that? That is incorrect. That's not how marketing works.
And then he has the Rippaverse ethic, which is it's Eric just talking about why he started the company and why he's going to continue no matter what, and why he's going to win. Then he has two filler pages continually talking about not an advertisement, but it's talking about his comic book. And then he has Backwards Will Be Back. So that is literally 3 pages front and back, just a blip on the radar at the back saying like what's to come, what's in store, like stay tuned. How is that wrong? How is that fake? How is that bad business or making him a grifter? Those statements, they infuriate me because they are so idiotic. They are so dumb. It makes you want to slap the people that say those things and say, knock it off. You're a grown adult. Act like it. And if you don't, you're going to be treated like a child and put in timeout.
And the thing is, like, so I used to read comics, not like read. It's like back in the day when you could trust your kids to walk around the market by themselves. My mom and dad would send me to the book section, and I would go and read the comics. Every single comic book I've ever seen has these filler page sections, and sometimes just completely blank pages.
Yep.
They would have advertisements in them. We're talking back when these were marketed to kids. We're talking like, Sonic the Hedgehog comic books and shit like that. And let me tell you something. That's what made me not like comic books, because I would go there and I'd read them. and then the story would change so vastly, and the, the style would change, and I couldn't figure out why. My 10-year-old brain was like, I don't get it. Why is everything so different? I had no idea there were alternate universes and shit like that. That was beyond my comprehension.
Oh my gosh.
And they when they sell that shit to kids, they really didn't think about the fact that kids aren't going to catch on to that shit. But anyway, so if you would have all these empty pages and these blank pages, why not fill them with advertising for your, like, let me tell you something. If I had Ripa's influence, do you understand who would be I would have, like, literally an entire book dedicated to family and friends. I have no shame. I have zero like, I would be like, come look at my best friend and her music, go look at this, buy this from this person. Like, I would do it all, and I would not give a shit. You know why? Because it's my fucking book. I can do whatever the hell I want.
Yep.
Like, that's it. And it's like that dude with that white guy that keeps, like, disrespecting every female that ever interacted with Eric.
Oh yeah, calling them a pig, calling them. Well, he specifically started calling Rady a pig, and saying she's trying to seduce her boss. Now,
I think her husband has something to say about that.
In a respectable society, there would be words exchanged and actions taken if that was said face to face.
Right. Sorry, I'm doing my nasal spray. And that's because he would never. Number one, Eric is the kind of guy like my dad in that sense, where if you disrespect his wife in front of him, I pity your jawline because it's about to get messed up.
Oh, absolutely. Which is the way it should be. And there should be laws protecting that. Like, if you disrespect, like openly disrespect to start a fight or to antagonize or to belittle, there should be protections against that. In my opinion.
And here's my thing. Well, because the problem is that enters into the free speech thing, and, you know, what is considered free speech, what is warranted, what is battery. Like, that's the problem. That gets super complicated.
Oh, in my opinion, free speech, you should be able to say whatever you want, but then there will be repercussions.
But then at that point, can you then actually say whatever you want? See, that's the problem. Like, because then that's saying, well, then that warrants it's a whole, you know, mess at that point. I'm not saying I completely disagree with you on a social context. Like, for instance, we know murder is bad. And if a guy dents in a pedo's face, he may have to go to jail for murder.
Right.
But we as a society might fill his jail bank account with thousands of dollars. So
that is true.
So that's what it is.
Well, perfect example. I believe his name is Gary Plauché.
Oh yes, that man is a legend.
He didn't go to jail for murder.
He went to jail for justice.
He went to jail for justice, but everything was dropped.
Was it? I didn't know if it was.
Yeah. Yeah. Everything.
If you guys don't know what we're talking about, Mr. Plauché had a very his son was murdered, and his son was also diddled. And the man that did that, he had got, I think, was he convicted? I forget what happened. He was either getting off, but he's being led away by police. And Mr. Plauché waited. He waited by a phone booth. This was back in the 80s or the 70s. And the on camera, on live TV, this man turned and shot his child's pedo at point blank range in the head.
Yep. Now I can't. Huh.
What?
His son does not have a Wikipedia page.
He might have actually requested that not be there.
Interesting.
Is it really?
But
all I know is
I don't believe that his son was killed.
I thought he was. I remember. As far as I remember, but again,
kidnapped and bad things happened to him.
That much I know for sure.
Yep. And it was the child's karate teacher.
I didn't know that part.
So even you have to pay attention to where your child is at all times. At all times. Because that karate teacher was a trusted adult around that child. The parents trusted that teacher with their child.
That lends into something Blair White talked about. So Blair White did a video on the prosthetic teacher. We all know who I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And Blair got into a fight with Boy George. Now, if any of you don't know who Boy George is,
I try to block that out of my head.
Right. Well, I kind of like it. If I'm correct, isn't Come a Chameleon? No, that is Boy. Come a chameleon. That's Boy George.
Shut up.
I purposely sang as bad as possible so that way, just in case YouTube doesn't come at me. So, he had the audacity to say to Blair that pedophiles don't work out in plain sight. And she's like, that's literally what they do. They get in positions that make them closer to kids. Why do you think so many priests are also diddlers? Why do you think that so many teachers are diddlers? Especially gymnasts and karate teachers, because they have to be physically close to the kids. They have to get right up on them and adjust their bodies. Sometimes all they need is to be in the presence of kids, and then they go in the back and they go ding, ding, ding. Like, you guys don't understand how depraved these people are. And that's why I used to be one of those people. I used to be in the camp of non-offending. Leave them alone. No, there's no such thing as non-offending. It's waiting to offend. Because it is a sickness. This is not just who you're attracted to. That is a disorder. That is some kind of disorder in your head. It makes you not safe. Because would you trust a non-offending around your kids?
Nope.
Would you trust them to babysit your children?
Nope.
Would you trust them near a playground?
Nope.
So then, if it's a fact that you claim that non-offending should be left alone, then you should be feeling safe to leave your kids around a non-offender.
Oh yeah, see, that's the thing. You can take it with this argument as well as with not making a direct equivalency, but you can take the illegal aliens.
Right.
What we saw with Martha's Vineyard. I thought they were supposed to be like illegal aliens are human beings, right? They're people. You're supposed to let them live, right? Well,
not where they are.
Not where they are. As soon as they reach your doorstep, it's bad.
Well, they proved that ages ago. That's the thing. Like, what was that? The mayor in Chicago. Oh, she told everyone they could protest up until they protest her front door.
Oh, that was delicious to watch.
Next thing you know, they're terrible. Oh, it's horrible. Like,
oh, who was it? Oh, come on, man.
What?
Is it the mayor of, I believe it's, who was the mayor that got booed? And it was in Minnesota. I want to say Milwaukee, but that's wrong. Was it the mayor of Kenosha? No, that's Wisconsin.
No, that's the whatchamacallit.
It's the dude that looks like a wimp.
Listen, that does not narrow it down.
I know. I just you got a couple thousand mayors that are like that.
For real.
I'm gonna look this up.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of who you're talking about, but I can't think of them. Beetlejuice. No, that's not. We already spoke about them.
Jacob Frey,
Not-
Minneapolis.
Oh, I don't know that one, but tell me. I want to know.
Okay. So this is from, let's see, let me open this up.
Oh my
So
god, don't make me think that Black Cat.
So this is from the New York Times.
Uh-huh.
Mayor Jacob Frey of Minneapolis, a stinging rebuke. A sea of protesters yelled, "Go home, Jacob, go home," and "Shame, shame," when he would not, on the spot, commit to abolishing the police department. So he
God.
immediately changed his tune when they started booing him.
Of course.
And started getting, not physical, but it was almost there. It was almost at that point where they could have, like, tossed him on a railroad tie and ran him outside of town, like the good old days. And yeah, he immediately changed his tune. He went from being he's still on the BLM side, but he kind of put his foot down a little bit. They were getting a little bit too rambunctious.
Mm-hmm. See, and that's the thing. They think that you're gonna fall in line. They want everyone to fall in line, and then when they don't, they chastise you like a little kid. And I don't care what side you sit on. That's not. Why are you following people that chastise you like that and treat you like a child? That makes no sense to me.
No sense at all. One of my favorite things was during the Summer of Love, and they were marching through Chicago. Then they got to the how do I say this? The Latino neighborhoods, and they were told to leave, and some things may have been brandished at them, and the protesters got a little bit scared, and they were like, "Yeah, we don't walk this way. We'll walk around. Don't worry." And there may have been some grandmamas and mamas come out and say, you better not walk through here. Don't you make my boys hurt you.
And see, that's the shit that I love. They think that these no, that's the problem. Like you said, that whole thing. Okay. When you look at the places they weren't willing to go, they only went to the places where they knew they could get away with that shit. Yep. They were not willing to really, like, that's why I would love when a store would brandish a firearm. And you could always tell the moment somebody was brandishing a firearm because they'd scatter like flies. Like, they were all bold and brash, and then as soon as a gun would come out, you would see them in mass running from wherever they had just went to. Mind you, it's just one guy with a gun, but they weren't willing.
Oh, we've lost you.
Big behind that truck.
You said "and yet," and that's all I got.
Oh yeah, what? Wonder why again. I'm hardwired.
May have to leave and come back. I don't know. This don't make no sense.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
You can hear me now, right? Okay.
Yes.
So they stood in front of a big rig, and they got mad at the truck for not stopping quickly enough for them, the protesters. Mm-hmm. You were, number one, you got on a moving truck, and you were trying to bash the windows in. I'm glad you got hit.
Do you remember that dually?
The which one?
Do you remember that dually truck? Like, oh. Uh-oh. We lost her, no.
I blanked out completely. Say it again.
Okay, do you remember that dually truck that was pulling the horse trailer?
No, tell me.
Oh, that was a good one. So there was a protest on the highway, and there was, I believe it was a red, it's a pickup truck, but we call it dualies because it has dual back tires. Like, instead of having just 2 tires back there, they have 4. 2 on each side.
Uh-huh.
And that means you can pull more. It was pulling a very large horse trailer. Now, I can't remember if it actually had horses inside of it. I imagine it did, because normally you only take those out if you're going to get a horse or if you're transporting one.
Right.
And
Now, hopefully they were on the way to get the horses, not,
yeah. And so the protesters tried to stop it, like they do with semi-trucks, and it took off, and it plowed through them. Now, it tried to go around, but of course, they migrated in front of the truck, and some got hit. And first off, I want to give a standing ovation to that driver, because if there were horses in that, he protected those horses.
Exactly.
He was protecting his property. And so you can't just stop somebody for no reason.
It's
not even if you're a cop.
Right. Not just that. These protesters, they showed at many other protests that year that if you stopped, you were in danger. Okay? That's first off. Second off, do you not understand how air brakes work?
No, they don't. They are mechanically illiterate and unintelligent when it comes to that.
Exceedingly so. Because my thing is, guys, if none of you in this chat know how air brakes work, they don't stop. Have you ever gotten behind a truck at a red light and then watched them and you're like, oh, I got to get around this truck because they're taking too long? Just to turn the brakes off and to get started and move all that weight takes a minute. And that's why you should never just jump, even when you're going the speed limit. You should never just jump in front of a truck, because they cannot calculate for that. They have thousands of pounds riding behind that truck, going between 50 and 90 miles an hour. You can't stop that quick. If nothing else, even if the brakes work, the tires are still going to slide.
Yep.
And I just, horse. Everyone's saying horse trailers or horse trailer.
Ah, yes.
God.
Either way, important cargo.
Important, like, number one, I think you all realize by now, I'm hitting you if you threatening my pets. If my dogs were in that trailer, I'd be like, fuck you! Alright, I have to ask you a favor. I need to use the ladies' room really quick. Do you think you can entertain the masses?
I think so. Maybe not Choco Hooligan, but everyone else.
Choco will entertain with you, trust me. I'll be back.
All right. Hi, chat. How are you? What are we doing today? Arcasul time. That's right. That's right. Just like on Twitch. And you can follow me on twitch.tv/Arcasul. Every follow counts. And if I get to 300 followers, I'm going to be doing a 24-hour stream. So, I'm at 280 something. I believe it's 285, 286 right now. Chocolate is chef's kiss. That is correct. It is very good. Doing the Italian hand movements. You're right, Views. I am the captain now. Ooh, what you eating, Moon? What you eating for lunch? Choco is easy to please. Just insert chocolate. If you get to 300 followers, I'll do a 24-hour stream on only Twitch. Only Twitch? Uh-huh. I'm already following. Somebody even gifted me a sub. Those emojis. Yes, yes, they are fire. I ate hummus and toast with bacon. Now that sounds good, Black Cat. Regular chocolate or dark chocolate? Well, I mean, there's chocolate, and then there is dark chocolate, milk chocolate, yada, yada, yada. I eat anything but white chocolate. All right. White chocolate is lies. I mean, In some desserts, white chocolate is kind of all right, but like just on its own, I'd rather have either a dark chocolate or milk chocolate candy bar than a white chocolate candy bar. Like, come on now. Bean and rice burrito, but I'm cutting it up in pieces. I'm slowly trying to introduce solid foods into my diet again. Well, that's good, Moon. Very good. I'm happy about that. Shaco says it's not chocolate. What's the best chocolate brand? I don't know. I am Choco Hooligan. What is the best chocolate brand? Choco Hooligan only does VTube ASMR, meaning she eats chocolate and forgets the mic is on. ASMR is odd. Depends on what you're looking for. Ooh, Mitchell's making some pancakes. How do you make your pancakes, Mitchell? Cadbury's is good. Is good meh chocolate. I don't know, man. I like a good old fashioned Hershey bar. Like just Hershey's candy bar. Like that's Galaxy is very rich. Also a good slightly more decadent chocolate. It's decadent, fancy. Nestle equals childhood. Yeah, Nestle chocolate. Maybe I missed it, but can you introduce yourself? I have not heard you before. So I'm Arkasul. I'm one of Starzan's mods. And the reason why I'm on today is because Starzan and I were making fun of this crazy person on Twitter. And she thought it'd be fun if we just talked about it on stream. So we did that. Now we're just chit-chatting. How are you doing, Shinukuro? Hershey's has vomit in it. Oh my gosh. Lindor equals Poshy. Butlers equals life. Silvar says, ASMR is effed up if it's mukbang or thirst traps. Rain sounds are okay. Okay, I can agree with that. I can agree with that. Black Cat says, I put together a Brita filter. Got splashed 6 times. Larks. Vomit, Choco. Cat or dog? Ravens? For me personally, I'm a dog person, not so much a cat person. I have a wonderful cat that I love, but I can train and get along with dogs more. I think it's hit or miss on getting a cat with personality, because sometimes cats, well, they all have a personality, of course, but getting a personality that fits your household, that is what you have to do, because dogs, you can train them
differently.
You
have to raise them in order for that to happen.
Yes, you have to raise the cat to get them to have the personality that you want. If you adopt one, it's hit or miss. But with dogs, even a dog that is a rescue, you can still train it to act properly in your household.
You just gotta know what you're doing. Sorry, I was gone for a minute, guys. I really had to use the ladies' room. I'm back though. Thank you, Ark, for being so nice.
Yes, no problem.
But no, number one, you asked for Choco's favorite. I know it's Butlers. She loves freaking Butlers. She sent me Butlers. That's how I know. And I know because I got the privilege. And whatchamacallit though? I forget what else we were talking about because I heard the chocolate part and I was like, I know that answer.
Well, I believe it was Silvar that asked about maybe not Silvar, maybe it was somebody else. I think was it Ravens? Let me see. Oh, it was Mitchell. Said regular chocolate or dark chocolate.
Depends on what I'm having.
Yeah.
If I'm making a cake, dark chocolate.
And then it was Black Cat. Black Cat said best chocolate brand. And so that's how we got started on chocolate.
Well, frankly, that is actually a loaded question because it depends on what you're using the chocolate for, really.
Ooh, that is a good point.
Because if you're baking with it, sometimes that's going to be Ghirardelli.
Choco
'Cause I
Hooligan, did you think about that, huh?
no, she doesn't see. She'd eat Palmer's. I'm pretty sure she'd even eat Palmer's. This is nice having company. You guys are making me shrimp. Are helping me make shrimp salad, pork chops, corn on the cob. Damn, you're having a whole ass feast.
Invite me, please. I would like to have some.
Go
You
off,
gonna
Sheila.
share?
Palmer's is like it's barely chocolate. We're gonna put it that way. I don't know. Ark, do you know what I'm talking about? The Palmer's chocolate. It's that chocolate you can get for cheap.
It has like almost no cacao in it, so I don't consider it chocolate.
Exactly. You should still eat that because it has something in it. Yeah, I said that, Choco.
So anything that tastes or has the essence of chocolate, Choco Hooligan will eat.
I mean, it's in her name. Dove is in the
No.
Yeah, she would try it. She would at least put it in her mouth.
No.
Oh, never mind. Don't put that out of context, young lady. I forgot who I'm talking to. Choco, don't you fucking dare. Have you seen the videos she makes of me?
I don't. Nope. I don't want to. I don't. Nope. I'm moving on.
What you would call it though? Angel, yeah, the fuck you are. I'm trying to look up. I gotta look up the emblem. But Gryffindor uniform. No, I think it's just seal. I'll just put it in seal now, right? Don't mind me. There we go. Okay. Which one did I use? I use this one. We'll go with that. That works. That checks out. But no, Choco's definitely my pain in the ass, but you say don't, but all I'm hearing is do. Too late, sir, right? All of you tempting this woman. Shit, I lost my train of thought. What was I gonna say? I don't know. Damn it. But anywho, so you enjoying your time here on Starstream?
Absolutely.
I know I'm delightful, aren't I?
To a T.
At least you can handle my absolutely terrible racist ways.
I know. It tears me apart whenever like I realize I'm friends with a supremacist.
And do you want to know what? Let me tell you something, guys. The first time I've actually spoken to Ark, it's because he has learned that apparently me going off on a rant is hilarious.
Yes.
And he decided to see how far he could push me.
Yes.
He still hasn't pushed me the furthest, but he got me going.
Oh, it's all in fun. You just gotta know the topic to argue about.
To get me on.
Yeah. It's like there are some topics that you don't argue about because it's like dumb to argue about, but like pineapple on pizza, that's another one. You can get ready talking about that for hours. About pineapple on pizza is horrible. It should not go on pizza. And
that's where I piss off a lot of people. Because I don't mind it at all. I, as an Italian, have cursed my ancestors, I guess.
You know what? There's another topping for pizza that I have seen sprout up as people saying, why do you do that? And that's black olives. Now, I'm in the camp of black olives are amazing.
Yes! Why is that even a thing? Black olives are amazing.
But there are some people I've seen on the internet who think black olives are disgusting.
Well, it's okay that they're wrong. They just have to come to terms with that.
See, Choco remembers Arkasul, yeah, like Cora being a douche canoe. Yeah, see?
Yeah, Choco will always remember ways to piss me off, trust me. Her and Bublito, they love to see me go crazy. But no, I don't understand why anyone would even argue that point, because black olives, number one, olives on pizza is just, that's a natural state of things. I don't understand where anyone would even get upset about that. Like, that's my thing. Like, I would understand if there was something worth getting upset about, but there. Number one, I recently discovered people don't like black olives. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, apparently it is. I didn't know it was a thing either. I thought black olives was like a staple.
So
see, look, Black Cat.
Like
look at that. Black Cat says no olives. Yuck.
What are you hating on? It's because they're black.
Oh no.
Is that what it is?
Am I gonna have to disavow again? Mama Susan, I disavow again, yet again. I disavow. Save my channel.
Hi, Allison. No, I personally don't get it because, like, you know, I've had, number one, where I'm from, and I know you live in the South. Where are you? Because your accent's more like mine. Where are you originally from?
I'm one of them damn Yankees that moved down to the South. I was born in Michigan. I got Michigan.
You like me then.
Michigander parents.
Michigander. Well, I'm Rhode Island originally.
Ah.
Would you fight a shark? A small one. A tiny one, I would. But no, like where I'm from in Rhode Island, a standard pizza was pepperoni and black olives. Like Papa John's, not Papa John, Papa Gino's. Papa Gino's is a Rhode Island staple. That was one of their main pizzas. You got pepperoni and black olives. And if you haven't tried it, it's fucking delicious. Go next time you get pizza, order that. Your life will change.
Really?
Like, have you never had pepperoni and black olives?
Not just those two. I've always had it with other things on it as well. So just have it like, and I'm not talking about some stupid like Little Caesars or Papa John's or anything like that. I'm talking like either an authentic Italian restaurant that makes authentic pizza, like basically homemade pizza, or make it at home. Just having pepperoni.
Now, I will tell you, you can get a really good pizza place. Have them do it. But, like, you can even, and I will say this, you can jerry-rig Domino's to even make it right. What you do is, key thing, guys, whenever you go through Domino's, never get a small unless you, like, always get an extra large. Here's why. The extra large, you order it, like the big one, they have to make that dough almost fresh because of the amount of dough they need for that pizza. They don't always have it on hand. So first off, you're getting fresher dough. So it's stretched better. I think it's a hand pan pizza or something like that. On top of that, ask for light sauce. That way you're not getting coated with that sugary sauce. You ask for extra cheese. So that way you have a better coating. And then you tell them to cook it extra. Because when you cook it extra, the oils in the food has time to actually come out. And you're not having semi-soft, semi-raw ingredients. That's one of the reasons why half of those fast food pizza places taste terrible, because they operate on a time limit. They've got to get that to you in a certain amount of time. Right. So often they're not going to fully cook that pizza the way you want it. That's why when you get it, your onions might still be a little too crunchy, or your peppers might still taste a little raw. Sometimes you'll notice that your pepperoni is not crispy, more just chewy. Again, they're not cooking it long enough. So that's how you hack it. But what I do is whenever I go to get pizza, I either have pepperoni, mushrooms, black olives, or mushrooms, green peppers, black olives, or pepperoni, mushrooms, black olives. And I promise you, it's really good. Other than cheese. And if you want to have a really amazing pizza through Domino's, I'm not joking. You order the extra large in that 5-cheese Wisconsin, light sauce, extra cheese, and have them cook it until there's browning on top. I promise you, you won't regret it.
Ooh.
See, I don't get this, but the black olives, a lot of people say they don't like mushrooms either. I don't understand that. They're just fun guys. They just want to have a blast. I'll see myself out.
Just
But no, I genuinely don't get, like, the things that I don't hate, everyone else hates. Like, I love sardines. Everyone's like, ew, sardines. And I like black olives. Everyone's like, ew, black olives. My dad used to make me little salads for myself with black olives. And he'd stick them on the end of my fingers. And I would love it. And I'd eat those. And I don't know. I just find it odd. The things that people won't eat and the things that people do eat. Mm-mm.
I have met some extremely picky eaters.
Yeah, my husband's one of them.
That eat some of the most trash garbage, like fast food. It's hilarious.
Right? No, see, to me, if you can look me in the eye and tell me you'll eat chitlins or you'll eat shit on a shingle or something like that, but you won't eat mushrooms or black olives. Like liver mush. You live in the South, you know what the fuck liver mush is.
Yeah, sadly.
If you eat fucking liver mush, but you won't eat mushrooms and black olives, I'm judging you.
Man, that's getting deep country right there.
What even are chitlins? Oh, Raven, let me tell you what chitlins are. Chitlins are boiled, not fried, boiled pig skin, but you don't know what part of the pig you're getting, and it can be any part. And there has been chitlins that they have sold that is the rear end, and I'm talking like the star of a pig, and there's sometimes doo-doo still in the chitlin.
Yeah.
And when you boil it, it smells like if Low Tide and the Dump had a baby.
Can you
And
stop?
they let it sit in the sun for a few hours.
Please? Please, Tarzan, stop. I know you've already finished and I'm a little too late on telling you to stop, but I could not let it continue.
He knows I could because, see, I don't eat it, so I can't That's the thing. Because I don't eat these things, but I will say I will stop because I understand completely. There are things that you cannot talk to me about. There are things that if you bring it up, I will physically get sick. And I can thank my brother partially for that, because that man, he made me triggered, and I can say that with confidence. Girls, I say, listen, you asked. But no, I can't talk about body fluids. Especially body fluids that, either way, I know what you mean. Grosses me out. Absolutely. The great thing about everyone having different... Yeah. Now, here's the thing, Silvar. You said you wouldn't have bugs. A long time ago, I found out about cricket flour. Before any of this started. And they just said it was really good, like, for protein. And they utilize it in a lot of countries. And, Choco, any and all.
Please move on from the... Don't read Choco Hooligans chats anymore. Good
I know,
Lord.
right?
This is like, we're talking about food, but not the good kind. Can we go back to chocolate? Something we all like?
No, but
Please.
I'm talking like the flour about. I don't see anything wrong with that because people have been eating them for thousands of years. So I don't see anything wrong with that if it's like, hey, you have no other options, or hey, it's a cultural thing. I don't like that now they're trying to make it a everyone thing. And the videos that they make about it are gross. Like, the videos of these stars trying to convince people is gross. Like, don't lie. We know that's not true. We know you're not telling the truth. We know you're getting paid to do this. Shut up. I think that's my main thing about these famous people trying to convince people to eat that stuff. Like, we know you're lying. Stop. Know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I can't handle this. I stopped talking about about the chitlin.
Oh, I just love you, Choco Hooligan. I want you to know that. I love you to bits.
You're the one reading your comments. That's the problem.
Yeah, I know, right?
See, I learned now that I know she knows.
I mean, for me, it's 12:52. I still haven't eaten lunch, and I'm just like, I'm listening to this beautiful content.
If it makes you feel better, I haven't eaten a thing today either. I have not eaten a damn thing. But for me, when it comes to food, like the things I can't have, are you ready for what really grosses me out? You're gonna laugh.
What?
Condiments.
No.
I hate relish, mustard, all of it. Ketchup is disgusting. Mayo makes me puke.
Really?
I think they are the most putrid things.
You gotta eat like a burger plain?
What do you mean plain? There are other things besides condiments. There is cheese. There is avocado. There is bacon. I'd rather put a whole ass.
You put an avocado on a burger.
And if you haven't, you are not living.
American ass is you. Oh,
let me tell you something. Avocado on a burger is delicious.
You know what? I was fine with you being a supremacist, but that food comment right there, that's gone too far.
Everyone I tell them the same thing. I seem normal. I'm gonna break your heart with my food preferences.
Nah, that's fine. I mean, it's not the weirdest thing I've seen with avocado. Like, I mean, there's avocado toast. I imagine like somebody ate avocado toast and was like, I got some extra avocado. It's lunchtime. Let's make a burger. And was like, oh, okay.
Let me tell you something. Avocado toast is delicious. I make it all the time. That and pumpkin spice lattes is the most millennial thing about me. I am a very proud basic bitch with pumpkin spice lattes. But yeah, I hate tomatoes. I don't eat any tomatoes except for on pizza, and that's one of the reasons why I do like tomato sauce. So I'm a bad Italian, apparently. His silence says that he's shocked. That he can't hear me, one or the other.
Wait, what? I had a message I had to respond to, and I just kind of blanked out there.
I said, I don't eat tomatoes. I hate tomatoes.
Oh, that's natural. Yeah, that's normal. Like I bet so many people like that. It's just
they smell like farts to me. And the thing is, my brother,
really?
Yeah, they smell terrible. Like that's what I hate. People like, you couldn't tell it was in there, could you? I'm like, not only could I could smell the tomato a mile away. Because tomatoes smell nasty.
I don't mind tomatoes. Like my brothers and my parents, they love tomatoes. They're fine. I don't like having tomatoes and lettuce or other like condiment style things from fast food joints. I have them remove those because they're always nasty.
Limp.
But if I can get like a very, very fresh, like perfectly ripe tomato, and I can put that on a burger, that's fine.
Nope.
For me.
See, for me, like
and
everyone
that's the thing about these food discrepancies or these differences of opinion on food. That just means there's more tomato for other people.
Exactly. Listen, don't you come from my matcha, black cat.
Matcha can die with umpkin. You said umpkin, Choco. What is umpkin?
I will eat the umpkin. I will eat the pumpkin. And you know what's really fucking good, Choco Hooligan? Matcha with pumpkin spice pumped in. Yeah, motherfucker, I've done it. I've gone full basic.
That's right.
And I enjoyed it. And I ate it with avocado toast. You could be friends with my daughter. She hates condiments and tomatoes. Listen, that's why I'm doing. You know what, Charlotte? Tell her. We talked about her favorite foods while drawing her. So you can tell her. The whole conversation was based around her favorite noms. Let me tell you something. Like, I tell everyone all the time, like, my food preferences, people get so upset about it. If you have matcha, like, without anything, it doesn't get foamed properly, you don't process it properly, it tastes terrible. But that's just like saying I can't possibly like coffee because I don't drink it black. That's like saying you can't possibly enjoy tea unless you have it perfectly brewed. I can't enjoy a steak unless it's completely unseasoned. You can enjoy matcha if it's seasoned properly.
Right.
Yeah, starts on being a cow confirmed. Seriously, grass and fuck. You know what's hilarious, Raven? That lady from earlier was calling me a lol cow. I know it's not the same thing, but that's still funny.
Yeah.
And Italian doesn't like tomatoes. There's a joke in it. I know. No fair. I like avocado and guacamole, but now I'm allergic to Oh, I'm so sorry, Silvar. But that's the thing, guys. You can enjoy coffee, but not enjoy it black. You can like something, but only like it under certain stipulations. For instance, the only time I eat tomatoes is on a pizza. I can't drink. I have accidentally ordered matcha in its natural state through Dunkin' when it first came out, and they didn't quite understand how to do matcha. They still don't, because they still kind of fuck it up. But they overcompensated for the matcha then. And let me tell you something. That was a flavor. I literally gagged. I sucked up a mouthful of matcha powder, but it was wet, and I was like, ah!
Oh no.
And it just like, because the thing is, matcha dries out your throat immediately if you have it in its purest form, and I was like, black tea, oh my god. And super let me tell you something, super steep black tea, when the tannins are taking over, you start praying for God, because you don't know what that flavor is, but you didn't like it. And so, yeah. Charlotte, what did you want for a background on this? I was so busy worrying about how she looked, I didn't think about what else you wanted with it. You just want me to do like little magical swirls around her? I forget. No, I will say this. My Dunkin' used to be, there was this black guy that used to run it, and he ran it like a fucking machine. He was amazing. I used to ask for him all the time just so I could tell him how great he ran that store. Before the pandemic, he was there, and then about midway through the pandemic, he left. I don't know if it, because I know that the Dunkin' changed owners, so I don't know if the new owners fired him or what. But I'll tell you what, my coffee was always good there. The food was always made properly and fresh. There was never any mistakes. Now when I go, like the last 3 times I have gone to this Dunkin', I'll order iced coffee, and I get like an iced milk with coffee as an afterthought. And that's painful. They've also, I ordered a matcha last time, and I had to like bang it to find the matcha powder. Like, it was gone. And
Really?
so, oh god, it was so bad. There was like a thin layer at the bottom, and that was it. And Madeleines, I like Madeleines, but people make them too sweet. I like macarons, I like Madeleines. I like that Madeleines are nice and soft, but every time I've had them, when they're dipped or anything, they get dipped in like overly sweet chocolate. I feel Madeleine should be dipped in dark chocolate to complement the sweet cake that they're made from. Do you know what a Madeleine is?
No. I feel
Okay.
uncultured now.
Let me see if I can pull it up. Hold on. Let me get up on the Twitter. Let's see. Give me a second. Gotta go to the Google. Evil overlords. I'm Madeline. All right. Am I? Bless you. So these are Madelines. They look like little Speedos. Do you see them?
Yeah, it looks nice.
Yeah, and if they're made well, they're delicious. But that's if they're made well. Because sometimes they are, sometimes they're not. And when I first got introduced to them, my husband's job, this is back in Rhode Island, fresh made them at the market. And the first time I had them, they were great. Second time I had them, they were okay. So I assumed that maybe I just I got a bad batch.
Ah.
Every time after that, they stunk. So I have not gotten them since. I haven't. It's been about pretty much since I left Rhode Island. The last time I had a Madeline.
I
What,
like
Matt?
macadamia.
Well, macadamia is a nut, though.
I know. It just sounds Madeline, macadamia, same thing, right?
It's close. You can have macadamia flavored Madelines. I like unique pastries. I don't like milfoil. I think it's how it's pronounced. Again, when you're a weeb, a lot of these come up in weeb shit too. Like
Right.
a lot of anime have these things up. I think honestly that's why macarons are getting their renaissance, if you will. Because I don't think most people knew what a macaron was up until a couple of years ago. And then a bunch of weebs started making them on Instagram, and the next thing you know, everyone was like, I want macarons too. And, it was reborn, if you will.
Frickin' weebs.
We're making the world go round, I have to reline this kid's eyes because I messed up.
Oh no.
I painted a little too thick over her eyes, and so her eyelashes went bye-bye. I haven't seen. Did anyone see if Charlotte commented what she wanted? I make brown butter and orange blossom Madelines. Oh my god, Ice Princess. Oh, when winter comes, you should just ship me a batch, just for science reasons. No other reason. Well, for now, what I'll do is I will at least finish up this portion. There's literally an anime girl named Marco on, and she's a witch. Close enough. She's got the M in her. There we go. I'll let that dry, and then I'll move on to the next piece, which is going to be colored pencil, which is a little easier. Do I have enough time? Yeah, I got enough time.
Yeah.
I'm talking to myself. But I'll let that dry while I clean all this part up. But yeah, no, my mother really liked unique pastries, and well, you know what I'm talking about when I say this. Down south, there's no bakeries, but up north, everywhere is bakeries.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, it has to be a specific expensive mom and pop style bakery to get a decent bakery. Everything else is just your generic prepackaged bakeries.
Yeah, their idea of what a bakery is.
Yeah.
And whenever you go to a bakery down south, you know what you're getting? Muffins and pies. Which there's nothing wrong with muffins and pies.
But you get tired of that.
Sometimes you just want a little variety.
Just a little bit, man.
Just something. My God. And that's something where I genuinely miss that. I think that's what I miss the most about the North. It's just food. Because, you can get some decent food down here, but it's not the same thing. And I wish people understood that. It's not the same thing. I'm not saying the food is horrendous, but I'm not saying it's great either down here.
This is true, Silvar. This is true. He says southern humidity messes with baking.
Yeah.
That is true.
That is true. but then stop trying.
Damn.
If that's the case, then stop trying. Stop ruining food just so you can say you made it.
But we can make some pretty good bread, though.
Yeah, you can if you get the right water from the right area. That's the other thing. Like, people will, they'll make bread, but they use the wrong water, so it always kind of tastes off a little bit. It's a whole thing to it. Like, because a lot of folks don't realize, and maybe some of you don't realize either, good bread truly does depend on where you're located. Like, if you're making bread and you're in a place that has a lot of, like, bad aftertaste minerals and maybe a little bit of runoff, or maybe there's too much of one thing or another, your bread is going to taste like shit. Like, I'm just being honest. It's not going to taste good. And I wish more people, like, I stopped making my dough down here because the water just would not cooperate.
Right.
And I was done trying.
Have you not tried filter then?
Even with the filtered water, the problem is that the water will still retain some of the flavor. And if you filter out too much, it's just as bad. So if it's too filtered, you don't have enough minerals in there to really make a flavor at all. And if you don't filter it, you have too much of. It's a whole thing. I used to make this great dough for my strombolis. I don't do it no more. Pardon me, I'm getting my colored pencils out. Digging them out from the back.
Colored pencil time.
Well, these are all... What I'm working on right now is commissions.
Mm-hmm.
Open up, damn it. And I'm making sure that these are all done in a timely manner. This is the one that I've had the biggest fear of heading towards, because this one took me like 6 hours just to line. And how I know is that I did a 6-hour stream lining this picture.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if you knew me by that time. Yeah, because it was July.
Believe so, yeah.
So then that's why I really want to make sure this one looks good. I need to make sure I put the color palette on that one. New York bagels actually are processed to create... Yeah, New York water really does have a thing in that, and they've actually gotten mad because apparently they've changed what they put in the New York water system. So it's made the bagels not as good. I've heard about this. That the bagels are changing, and it's because they fucked up something. Now I gotta find this girl's Duchess. She's often on my live streams. Well, Duchess, I don't know if you're here. She's often in my my Instagram stories. It's finally time to do this terrifying picture. And I say it in the most loving way possible because I think it's gonna be a really cool picture. She's gonna do this as her tattoo.
Oh, really?
Exactly, which is why I'm like, oh, I've got to make sure I do a really good job. So the tattoo artist has to utilize what I'm going to send her. I'm still looking for her, whatchamacallit. There it is. Perfect. This is her mood board. She wants a lot of dark colors. I thought there's a good mixture of colors, enough that gives some things a few pops without the brightness. Nope, stop it. Okay. So we're going to save that. Let's save that just in case. So now the problem is I've got to figure out what colors are what. I just remembered I'm going to have to get a piece of paper for that, which is all the way up there, so I have to get a new one. Don't mind me talking to myself.
We never do.
I do it a lot, don't I? I just read the way you said that. I kind of do it a lot.
At least once a stream. It's got to happen.
So we're going to pull out because this paper got messed up by something. I don't know what. So we're going to take this one out since it got messed up. That was something that I've always had a hard time with, you know. I've always had a hard time with drawing and talking because what I would do is I would sit back when I was younger, I would just sit for hours. My husband, back when we were still dating, he would come into the bedroom, he'd play video games, he'd go about his life, he'd go to work, and I'll have not moved. I would just sit there and draw.
Right.
And it's not a good thing, I will tell you that. It's really not a good thing. Because you get a little too lost. And you start making mistakes. Most of you are too bright. So let's drag more of these colors out.
Bublito!
Hi, Bubs. Hi, Esteban.
Of course he spells rejoice wrong. Dumb frog.
Oh, my fraud son. Only you. I'm trying to think what color we should start off with. It's all gonna be muted tones.
I am saying nothing because I am not artistic to save my life.
Did you see the cake I posted to you? I did not see the cake you posted, the bub. So I know the wing is gonna be in kind of like a cream, so is the body. Huh. She said she wanted it background. She wants this entire drapery blue, I believe. Dark blue and dark green blue. Curtain that is blue. So why don't I start with that curtain then? So let's figure out the colors. I'm sharpened you, but I don't need you quite yet. This is the one part I hate about colored pencils, is that you have to concentrate more. Because it can look really ugly if you don't do it right.
Right, it's all about the different pressure that you put on the tip and how sharp the pencil is.
Yep, that's why I have this out and ready. Oh, you're full. Oh, well. I'll just take care of that. Excuse me. Out you go. Pablito, you're usually early on here. Where you been? What you been doing? Well, so what's your plan for this week?
Look at
pressure on that tip! Ew, inappropriate. And you're at work. I'm gonna write you up for sexual harassment.
That's right. Somebody needs to find out who Bublito is. Stat. Do it now.
Right.
He's not just a frog. He's a frog man.
He's French. I mean, what are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
You can't help him. He's French and Jewish, you know. I mean, it's just like, you know.
Well,
he's all over problematic.
We know what happened to his relatives about 80 years ago.
We know why he's in Canada.
Yeah, we know why he's not in Argentina.
What's their plans for the rest of the day, Art?
After this, I'm gonna go stream on Twitch and just have fun there, and don't really have much going on. There it is. Right, and problematic. But who do you go to when you need to stalk? To stalk?
Oh, Bub, I've got something to tell you. They won't give me the bike. So I had this bike company reach out to me. And they said they loved my work and they wanted me to do a promotional video for their exercise bike. We go through the whole thing. I sign the DocuSign. Then the lady comes back and says, "Oh, my manager said that you don't have enough views, so we're canceling everything."
Really?
And I'm like, nowhere on the DocuSign did it said you guys could do that. And I screenshot it all because she said she was going to delete it. Now, I don't know what I actually have for rights on it, but I was just like, that's pretty shitty of you either way. She's like, I see potential in you, and I have no problem with her. It's the minute, like, I don't see potential in you. I'm like, okay, that's not a problem, but don't come crawling to me. Like, I'm gonna remember them now. Like, if I ever get bigger, I'm never taking it from them. And if they do come back after me again, I'm gonna tell them, no, and I'm gonna badmouth them.
Good.
Like, I wouldn't mind if I went to them and they were like, no, you don't have enough views. Because then I could be like, all right, it's my fault. I approached them. I should have known better. They came to my inbox. And they messaged me twice about it. They really wanted me to do it. And now suddenly, you don't? All right, then fuck you too. I don't know. Maybe I'm too salty about it, but you have no rights. I thought it was the case. You could sue them, but you'd be... Yeah, exactly. That's the other problem. Clout? I don't have any clout for them to chase. I don't think. What would they chase me for? I'm just a fat chick that talks about other fat chicks, you know?
That's right.
Like, that's not even me down. Like, that's literally all I am. So that's the only thing. Like, I wouldn't understand why they would chase me. If anything,
I'm pretty sure they think that you're, which I don't know why they would think this, but you might be an easy target considering you have like 10,000 subscribers, which is still relatively small in the grand scheme of things.
Do you mean like that? Like what you're going off of? Like, do they mean something along the lines of like somebody wanting to be promoted on my channel? But yeah, I've had that.
Yeah.
I had a cat litter company. They reached out to me, and they were saying, you know, they wanted to. They made it sound like it was a sponsorship opportunity.
Right.
That they were getting ready to market in the American market. There was this tofu-based cat litter, and they were gonna send it out to the American market, right? And it was tofu-based, and it was all this stuff. They said they were gonna send me a sample, and if I liked it, we would then see how we would work together. So no problem. Sounds good. I get the cat litter, and first thing I notice is that I don't like the smell.
Right.
At first, the very first time I opened it, I liked it. But have you ever opened like a super sugary candle? That's what it smelled like. Now here's my problem. Tofu, soy husks, and corn husks do not smell like sugar. I know what they're supposed to smell like. I've worked with animals for years. You're putting perfume in that.
Yeah, that's got to be a perfumed cat litter.
Yeah. And so I was like, can you get it without the perfume? And they had the audacity to message me back, that's not perfume, that's the natural sweet smell. The fuck it is. So right off the bat, you're lying to me. I don't appreciate that. Because you sent me something to use on my pets, and I don't know now what's in them because you told me you only have these ingredients. You're hiding an ingredient. So that's right off the bat. Then afterwards, they say, oh no, this is not to pay you. We want you to do a promotional video, and we'll send you more litter. I don't want your litter. the only reason I even looked into it is because they said it was more environmentally friendly, and I will say this: every other claim they had, it clumping exceedingly quickly, it dissipating in water, all those were very true. But it was not superior at minimizing the smell. I have 9 cats in my household. With the
That's a
silicone
lot
litter,
of kitty cats.
it's a lot of kitty cats. With the silicone litter, you can barely smell it. With that litter in just 2 litter boxes, my room permeated, because I tested it out in the kittens first. Because I didn't have enough litter to test out on anything else anyway. That smell permeated my bedroom. The sweet smell stuck in my bedroom for days. I'm getting a headache just remembering it, okay? So we'll start with that. And then on top of that, the poo-poo smell and the pee-pee smell got very strong. So it did not do a good job of minimizing smell either. So I said point blank, this is great for 1 or 2 cats. This is not great for a multi-cat household. So I would say in whatever commercial I did, I don't personally use it because of the volume of cats I have, it does not work. But if you have 1 or 2 and you're more environmentally conscious, this is for you. But when I told them, you want me to advertise in the market and you want to send me products I can't use. No, you have to pay me. And they told me, that's not how this works. Well, then you don't get my endorsement.
That's so weird. So you had to do the endorsement first, have it get all of the views, and then they would have paid you? Is that kind of like...
No, they would have paid me still.
Wow. Okay.
They just wanted me to do an advertising video. And the thing is, they've been doing this for a while because I looked them up on YouTube. They only have, mind you, I said, what benefit do I get out of it? They said, we get advertising and you get more views. Bitch, you have literally 10 subscribers. What part of that gets me more views and subscribers? You're the only one benefiting from it because I would talk about your litter, I would promote your litter, and I would get you more sales, and you would send me more products I don't want.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what I told them, Silvar. I said, I know my skills. I worked in commission sales for 6 years. I know what I can sell. I will not sell your product unless you're paying me. They aren't going to pay me. That's it.
That just makes sense. Like, come on.
But they didn't see it that way.
I don't understand it. You give us, I don't know, 5 free advertisements, and then we'll think about paying you.
That's my thing. I don't think they were going to, because I found other YouTubers much smaller than me that took it, and all of them said the same thing. All they got was samples. They did not get paid. So I'm pretty sure this company kind of operates pretty dirty, because all they kept saying was, no, you're going to get the benefit of free I don't want your product. You don't have good enough product to warrant it being free. Your product isn't good enough for me. It does not work in my situation. Why would I take it?
Yep. Oh, here, use this faulty product that will not work with the amount of cats you have. But still feature us on your YouTube channel. Do it.
Because I promised, people asked when I got 9,000 subscribers to do an animal video. Well, those are coming out this month. I was going to feature them on the animal video. I'm not doing that now. And then another company reached out. Now, they were a little more honest from the get-go. The poop bag company reached out. But again, their verbiage did not read, oh, this is not a sponsorship. They said, we would love to work with you. If you, we will send you the poop bags. You can review it, so then we can work on collaborating with you. Okay. And when I said to them, well, you know, how much is your price per commercial? Oh no, you misunderstand. We're not paying you. We're asking you to look over our product. Okay, have a good day.
Say that again.
Yeah, they wanted me just to review. Again, these companies are reaching out to me because they see I can sell, but they do not want to pay me to do it.
This hurts the head. Why is it that you keep bringing up topics that just make my head go boom? Why?
Because
Why?
welcome to my life, sir.
What
Welcome to
out?
my life.
I'm gonna leave. I'm just gonna leave the studio. I'm just done. That is legitimately an insane proposition.
And I get it. I don't know if it's just like that's just how people that are small on YouTube get treated, which I believe. But it's just like that you say it with a straight face makes me wonder how many people who have not done commission sales and don't smell it a mile away. How many people have just done this
Yes.
and let themselves get used?
Yes. How many? How many have done this? I think the answer would be countless.
It's just really sad to me. Like if somebody is telling they see potential in your ability to sell, then you should see the potential in your ability to make money for it. That's my personal opinion. And that's the thing, like, do you know what I was queen of when I worked for the mattress sales company? I was the queen of selling the entire set.
Oh, really?
And what that means is people didn't just walk out with a mattress with me. They walked out with a mattress, an adjustable base, pillows, sheets, mattress protector, mattress protection. Like, they walked out with the entire sleep system.
Nice.
And the reason why is because I knew how to sell, but I also sold the right products. I would go through everything we were selling. I would look at the reviews. I would look at the quality of the product, and then I would get it for myself. And if I liked it, I promoted the shit out of it. If I didn't like it, I never sold it. Hence why I never sold Tempur-Pedic. And I'll tell you what, you want to talk about integrity. Tempur-Pedic is how you made money. But Tempur-Pedic is so...
Subpar? It's blasé.
They gas themselves up so much.
Yeah, they do. You can. I can tell that from the freaking commercials.
Yeah. The only benefit you get from Tempur, the only benefit you genuinely get is that their products are made to last. I will grant them that. That's it. That is it. But they are not superior in their cooling technology. They are not superior in their moldability. They are not superior. They are not. Fun fact, neither is fucking Sleep Number. It's a glorified airbed.
Mm-hmm.
Starby running pockets. Because I felt if you were going to come in and spend $3,000, I was going to make sure that $3,000 lasted you for 15 years.
Hey, that's a...
My thing was bang for your buck, and I'm going to make sure you bang that buck to death.
Yep. And that's the way it should be. There should be no manufactured obsolescence where everything just goes obsolete. Everything just goes defunct. Like, really. It's tiring that every year there's a new phone, and then the model that's 5 years old starts, like, the software, the updates start messing it up. So you have to buy the latest.
It's so annoying. Because, like, I have this phone. Now, I used to be that person where my phone would be, like, 4 or 5 years old. They don't let you do that anymore. And even then, you become kind of in the habit of just going out and getting a new phone. Like, right now, my phone, it's having issues. It's having issues. And you can see the screen is starting to get burned. It's starting to have problems with loading stuff. All this mattress talk is making me jealous. Sleeping on an air mattress right now. Listen, Christian, when the time comes, you call me. We will do it over the phone if need be, but I'll make sure you get the right mattress. Because that's I don't know, it just frustrates me. There's a lot. That's why, I don't know, it didn't get under my skin, but earlier, when that lady said to me that I can't cut it in retail, bitch, I know what I'm doing in it. And it makes me so mad that people don't take their health seriously on certain things. Like, let me ask you something, Ark.
Huh.
What mattress do you sleep on?
Fuck if I know. It's
What
nice.
Is it?
Yeah, it's nice, but I don't know what brand it is.
Are you sure it's nice?
It could be dog shit. I wouldn't know.
How old are you again?
24.
Yeah, it's probably dog shit.
Okay, fine.
No, here's why. Do you know why I say that?
Why?
Do you know when the technical human life expectancy is?
No.
So humans technically are middle-aged by the age of 26.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
We technically have a life expectancy of 45.
I thought you were saying life expectancy of like the freaking mattress. That was like they have like I know
They
like
do have life
they
expectancies.
yeah, that's what I thought you were saying.
No. So when you're 24, I'm assuming you're very active.
Somewhat. Kind of.
You move at least once a day kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
You go out, you hang out with buds, things like that, right?
Not really, but I used to. It's kind of slowed down ever since COVID.
So the last 2 years, you've stopped moving as much. You maybe don't go out as much. Okay.
Correct.
When did you get that mattress?
2019.
2019. So it's about 3-4 years old. Where'd you buy it from? Big Lots?
Mattress store.
Oh, you did? What company?
Yeah. I have no idea. It's just like the local mattress store in town. Why are you grilling me on this? Woman.
I'm using you as an example. So the reason why I ask you this, right? Do you wonder why people, when they turn 30, they start talking about being in a lot of pain and their body's uncomfortable and shit like that?
Well, yeah, because you have to have a good mattress because you sleep like a third of the day.
See, you understand this, but most people don't get that. The reason why that's happening is your cells stop regenerating as quickly. Your body is starting to slow down.
Right.
And it's starting to conserve things more. So once you start getting a certain age, it's more difficult. You understand this.
Yeah.
But when I tell you, what you're saying is almost an alien concept to most people. I've had to almost get into fights with customers about what you and I are talking about.
What are you talking about? My cells don't die. They're not going into a recessive state. What are you talking about?
Well, because my favorite part was, I'd say to them, I guarantee you're in pain every night. And they go, I'm not in pain. Okay. How often are you going to sleep in one position and waking up in the other? Every night. How often are you tossing and turning? Every night. How often are you waking up with a numb limb? Every night. Guess what, motherfucker? You're in pain. You've gotten so used to it, you ignore it. But so you're in pain.
The tossing and turning is an indication that you're in pain?
Absolutely. The human body is not designed to toss and turn ever. You are actually supposed to sleep in a still position as straight as possible. Your back should be in a straight position, whether that be on your side, your back, or your stomach. There should be no dipping. There should be no arching. You should have a spinal alignment. If you do not, that's the first indicator you're going to toss and turn. If you have breathing issues, you're going to toss and turn. If you ate before going to bed, you're going to toss and turn. If you did not empty out your bowel and bladder before going to bed, you will toss and turn. And when I explain
any type of discomfort, yeah,
your body is going to move. And the thing is, when I tell people this, because I ask them, what do you normally drink before bed? 9 times out of 10, I'm hearing juice or soda. Okay? So to begin with, you're putting caffeine and sugars in your system before going to sleep. Now, most people don't realize why that's detrimental. Sugars are a building block for energy. So your body is now getting energy, but you're trying to go to sleep.
Right.
So what is your body going to do?
Stay awake.
It's going to stay awake in some way. So either you're going to be uncomfortable and you're going to be uncomfortable going to sleep, or you're going to have a lot of nightmares and bad dreams. You might grind your teeth. Not only that, but the soda might make you need to pee more, or the juice might make you need to pee more. So you're more likely going to interrupt your sleep, getting up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. You know, again, there's all this shit about this, and people get very mad when I brought this up because, number one, when you tell them they can't drink their soda or their juice before bed, their addiction to the sugar is talking. So now they're getting mad at you because you're calling them out on that.
Right.
Then they're getting mad at you because, and this is something, I even had it with my friend's husband. He's like, I can't sleep like that. And I could see him getting defensive. Because
Yeah, see,
oh, sorry, go ahead.
they get defensive because they don't want to be looked at as lesser, as they don't know something, as somebody smarter than them, or
It's not even just that, bro. It's the pain. It's a pain response. When they get defensive like that, it's because they know they're in pain. They don't want to admit it.
yeah.
And so when because I tell them you're in pain, they go, no, I'm not. And the next thing you know, I can't sleep like that. I won't be able to sleep. So you are in pain. You can't sleep
The
like
funniest
that.
thing is I can sleep in my truck and on the floor just the same as I sleep on my bed. It's hilarious.
Yeah, because you're 24.
Yeah, I'm pretty.
Try that in 4 years.
I mean, might have to. Just have to suck it up. Suck it up, Buttercup.
Because that's the thing, guys. Like, you know, it's easy to say. I used to be able to do the same thing. I could sleep anywhere. Ever since COVID, when I gained a lot of weight, I used to sleep on my stomach every single night. I can't anymore. My back arches too much because I gained too much weight. So the thing is, when you tell me you can't sleep a certain way, yes, you can. You will learn if you have to. You just don't want to learn. You want to stay in what your body has learned, because that's the thing. Your sleeping habits, they all stem from a lifetime of shitty mattresses, shitty sleeping habits, bad eating habits, and bad choices. A lot of people think sleeping in the fetal position is normal. No. What do you do when you're in pain? You curl over in the fetal position because you're in pain. If you're waking up in the fetal position or you're sleeping in the fetal position, your body is literally saying, God, I'm in so much pain. Nobody wants to hear that, though.
Nope, they really don't.
And so this is.
See, but that's the difference between me and other people. Is like, I know I'm not the smartest one in the classroom, so I'm just like, I don't know what you're talking about. Either explain it or don't. Like, that's, if you explain it, I'll listen. If you don't, then I'll just continue on.
Right. But a lot of people, they would come here, and the problem is what they would do is, this is something that would always piss me off. They'd walk in and say, show me the best mattress in the room. And I tell them point blank, I can't. And they say, why not? I'm like, because I don't know what the best mattress is for you. And they wouldn't get that. That would be something very alien to them. They're like, well, if it's a quality mattress, it should work. Okay, so if I hand you the best pair of high heels on the planet, spike heels, they are made perfectly, and I tell you, you gotta walk in those for the rest of your life. Are you gonna be able to walk in them? Nope.
The answer better be no.
But they're quality. They're the best quality out there. And you look damn good, Nats. And it was like, because my favorite one I would do, because again, I'm in the South, and it was a lot of men. A lot of men go fishing down here. And so I look at them and they say, what's the difference? A mattress is a mattress. I go, okay. Do you go fishing? 9 out of 10, the answer was yes. I'm like, good. Do you go deep sea fishing? About 50% of the time it was yes. Okay. Do you have different rods for fishing in a river or fishing in deep sea? Well, yes. Why? Walmart has a $20 rod. It's plastic. It's got a little bit of nylon reel on it. It's good for kids. Why don't you take that and go deep sea fishing with it? And they kind of look at me and they wouldn't say anything. They just smile. I'm like, because different quality for different things.
And that is where people, like, that's where people, it clicks for them.
Yep. And I have to. It's the same thing. I did it with cars. I did it with guns. I did it with clothing. I did it with shoes. For instance, people will sit there and they get a new mattress and they'd be like, it's hard. It's not soft. I'm like, okay, is a new pair of leather shoes soft? And they'd stop and they'd look at me.
The answer better be no.
I was like, if you've got a brand new pair of leather shoes, are they conformed to your feet? Are they soft? Or do you got to work them in? To the younger crowd, I would say Doc Martens, because Doc Martens were known, like, you had to break in your Doc Martens. I'm trying to pick the colors, Choco Hooligan. I've already colored, you can't see it, but I've already colored the entire back. It's just she wants everything in muted tone, so this whole thing is going to be muted. And I'm trying to find the right colors for this, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it. I might have to just wing it. But yeah, and this is an argument I've had with many, many people over the years, and many, many people don't like. Some of them get very affronted when I said these things.
Because they're being challenged.
Mm-hmm. And they're not used to it. A lot of people are not used to being challenged, and that was something that I would do with my customers. Because they would come and they'd be like, I want a soft mattress. Why do you want a soft mattress? My mattress at home is hard. Okay, was your mattress always hard? I can't remember. I've had it for 15 years. Okay, so then you don't think over 15 years your mattress might get a little compressed, get a little harder? You haven't aged at all in 15 years? I know I've aged in 5 years. And you're older than me, so your body hasn't changed at all in 15 years. You sure about that? And again, these are things people don't think about. But I've helped people as young as you change their sleeping habits just by getting an adjustable base. Because what would I hear from them all the time? Oh, well, that's a hospital bed. I'm not elderly. Am I elderly? And at the time, I walked way better than I walk now. I say to them, like, do I look elderly to you? But I use one every single night. And I get up great. I get right up out of bed every single morning. Every morning, I pop out of bed. And everyone's like, how do you do that? I'm like, because I have a proper night's sleep. That's why. Nope, that is not the right color I wanted. What the hell? Nope. Let's just try a different green entirely. That's annoying. That's much better. All my body has changed since I was born, except one thing.
The size of his brain.
God almighty. I can't with you, Bubs.
Nope. Nobody can.
But no, I've had a lot of people get very mad at me over the years, usually guys. So I do see where some of these feminists come from, you know? The funniest thing was when I used to work at Walmart, and I worked in the electronics section, and I was training this guy. This was back in 2011, 2012. And this guy was like 6 feet tall. And if you don't know, Ark, I'm a hobbit. I'm 5'2".
Oh, wow. You are a hobbit.
And I especially looked at next to Elvis. That was his name, Elvis. And
I am 6 foot tall.
Oh, God. So, yeah, I would be teeny tiny next to you. And they walked over, and at the time, I would put my whole heart and soul to working in the electronics section. So I made sure to know the difference between the LED, the LCD. I memorized all the differences between the video game systems, because at the time, Xbox was the main, like, system to go to. And a lot of kids would, because back then parents were, like, you know, still really young and uninformed. And a lot of these kids would lie and be like, Mom, get me Grand Theft Auto. It's not as bad as it looks. And I would look right at the parents and I say, do you know what a rating is? And they say, what? I'm like, do you know the letter in the top corner of that video game? Do you know what that means? And they'd be like, no. I'm like, that's the maturity rating.
Yep.
And this game, and I would tell them in detail, I'm like, this particular game, there is a level where you have to murder and and assault a prostitute. Oh, the looks those kids would give me, because they think as a girl I was fucking clueless and I didn't know, and I was like, ha 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 ha. And I remember one day there was this one kid. Oh, he was pissed at me. He came in with his brother. They wanted games.
Right.
And I had the keys to the case.
Right.
And the kid says to me, rather snarkily, "Do you know what a video game is? I want you to go open the video games." And this kid was maybe 8, 9 years old. And his brother, who was maybe 13 or 14, smacks him and goes, "Do you understand how old she is?" I was like, shut up. In turn, I was like, "Oh, fuck you too, kid." He goes, "She was probably playing games before you even existed." And I was like, as a matter of fact, yes. And because he was asking me about Nintendo. Of all things, Nintendo, that's back when the Wii had first really, like, made its mark.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And I was like, bro, I was playing Pokemon and Mario before you were even a twinkle in your father's eye. But go off. And it was just like, there was people who would come next to me in Elvis, and they'd walk up and they'd be like, "Hi, they told me to come here and speak to the training associate." And they would look at Elvis, not me. And they would ask him, like, "Oh, can you tell me what this is?" And he'd literally look at them and be like, "I don't know a damn thing about electronics. You have to talk to her." And you'd see their eyes just, like, go down to me. And I'm like, "Yeah, me. Hi. Here I am."
Yeah.
I can't hear you, babe.
Why is Bablito saying he's adorable? We all know that's a lie.
Oh, yeah, they happened to my husband when he used to work at Home Depot. He was getting trained by these women, but they would always walk up to him. "Let me tell you something. You want somebody who knows literally nothing about hardware? That's my husband." And they were going up to him and being like, "What can I do with this?" And he's like, "I don't know. Go ask the lady." Like, I just put up the shelf.
Oh no.
So I will say I'm not totally ignorant to what some of these feminists say, like, But is it so annoying to the extent these women say? No. It's dumb. They're more apt to believe an older woman than they are a younger woman.
That's true. That is true.
And that's just something that naturally comes with age. You guys can barely see what you can't even see what I'm doing on there. Like, it has to be so light what I'm doing. I feel bad. Let's see. Oh, it's already 2:50. How about that?
10 more minutes.
10 more minutes. How can you put up shelves and not know? Listen, the hardware thing is different, because when you put up the shelves there, it's all very, he doesn't know, or didn't know at least at the time, much of that stuff, because he never dealt with it. When you put up shelves that are display shelves, it's all very done. Go ahead, babe.
Let me explain. My job was just to take the item from a pallet and put them up on the spot on the shelf. If we didn't know where it went, we had devices to tell us the general location, so it'd make it easier to put it up. They wanted to train me, but they never set time aside to train me. So I never got the training I needed for that.
And then you quit.
And there's my explanation for you.
He quit because he got a much better job. The job he's at currently. But yeah.
I mean, that was a decent explanation. I'll cut him some slack for that.
Maddie, get closer. He doesn't need to. He was standing behind me. We should have a drawing where Choco Hooligan kissed Pablito, turn him back into a human.
Someday yeah.
The two of them.
Yeah. We need to keep that. We need to keep that in the back pocket, like
right. Yeah. Now you see what I can go off about all day long.
Oh yeah, it's a wide variety of topics.
I'm not just a one-dimensional racist, you know.
I know, right? You're also a phobe of every kind.
You know what I am a racist against?
What?
Tempur-Pedic.
And we brought it right back. There we go. I love it. I love it. Damn, that took me off guard. Son of a bitch. I don't even know what to say now.
Do you know I used to get in trouble for it at work? They'd literally yell at me, "You need to sell more Tempur." Why? I hate them. We know you hate them, but they make money. I don't give a shit they make money. They're not that good. I was known when we'd have company meetings, they go, "Cassandra, we're looking at you." What'd I do? Exactly. You didn't do it. Because I didn't wanna.
Yeah, I didn't wanna.
One of my whatchamacallit, one of my patrons, Sherry, she is one of my old bosses from my job. And at company meetings, she would glare me down, and I'd be like, "What did I do?"
Oh, Bablito says, I'm changing my request to that. Which, yeah. So he wants that to happen.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess so. He did pay for it.
That is true. And then Moon says, I would rather have Starzan draw that idea. Looks like it's gonna happen, Choco Hooligan.
Choco has a hard time saying no to Moon. Choco has a hard time saying no to Moon. Moon is the favorite child. Oh, that you didn't know that's our thing. That's our thing. They're all my children, but Moon's my favorite.
They are. Yes, they are. I learned that from Moon. She did an amazing drawing. Posted it to, I believe she posted it to yours and to Rady's. Let me see. Let me go to your Discord.
I believe she did post it on my Discord, but yeah, it's true.
And then it was her and Bubs and Choco.
Mm-hmm. I love all my children equally, but Moon's my favorite. Come on, even Choco admits we love her. She's wrong no matter how adorable. Moon, use the eyes.
Oh, After 40 asks a good question. With or without the crown and maybe a ball gown for Choco?
Ooh.
I suppose that would be up to Bablito.
It is. He technically paid for it. I'm neglected. Bablito was put up for adoption. No, he didn't. I didn't put up for adoption. He voluntarily went to adoption. And he went to my Nikki, so, I mean, technically, that's my Discord wife, so out of the fire into the frying pan.
Oh, Bablito says works for me. So, Bablito, would you like a tiara or no tiara? Or would you like a crown or no crown?
We'll see. Bablito's got some strange flavors.
Oh, Raven. So, Bablito and Choco Hooligan, they're gonna be featured in a piece of art.
Why am I getting deja vu? Wait, what do you mean getting deja vu? What could you possibly be talking about, Choco Hooligan? I don't know what you mean. Whatever could you be talking about? It is a mystery to me. Ark, you ever seen these?
Wow.
Bub requested this one. He paid for this.
Okay.
For his he became a patron for 1 month so he could get this out of me.
All right.
And then when Choco Hooligan became my patron, I very kindly returned the favor.
My word.
This is how I love my peoples.
That is absolutely brilliant.
I made sure.
Man. I don't know which one is more cursed. I mean, just look at Bablito as like the man form. It's just.
I felt the hair was a nice touch.
Oh my word.
I'm a hot bitch. Chaco, you look so good in that skirt, though, and those heels are so you. But I did make sure she skipped leg day on her.
That is true.
I tried to make her like Larry the Lobster.
Oh my gosh.
Still hate you, though. And muscles for days, yup. If I ever commission you again, I might request a commission of me, Chocolate, and Bubbly Dough. They don't need your permission. You don't need their permission. I'd do it for you.
Oh, Bublito says I pre-approve, so
There you go.
there we go.
Choco, would you deny your little sister? That would be very... What ist can I use? That would be very racist. That'd be moonist.
Moonist.
Are you judging other planets?
That's right. Heavenly bodyist.
Heavenly bodyist. Celestialist.
Oh.
Mmm.
Spacist, even.
Racist. Is it no longer the final frontier for you?
Oh no. That was the worst one.
I can't even attempt to deny it. Moon isn't a planet. I just said heavenly. Were you listening? Are you selectively hearing? You need to listen to large bodies when they're speaking, Choco Hooligan. Are you really going to sit here and deny my truth? I identify the moon as a planet.
This is too much.
You can't disenfranchise me.
You can't disenfranchise her, Choco. Come on.
God. I have literally tricked people into thinking I'm really a liberal.
Oh my gosh.
And
Well,
I don't know how I feel about that.
I would feel dirty.
I do feel dirty. Like, I got mad, so Leon jokingly posted, we're like, me and Della were wrong. And we admitted, afterwards we had gotten the information wrong, so we were wrong. And he jokingly posted it because it was funny. It was funny. And so me and Della were shouting like, that's a white supremacist talking. It's funny. Thought me and Della.
Really?
Oh my god, if you the video is Ruin Leon owns two liberals, and it's clearly like we're literally unable to breathe from laughing because Leon was hilarious. And
I'm gonna look that up. That sounds good. That sounds really good.
You should go watch it afterwards. It's definitely worth it. But you can tell if you even used an eighth of your brain power, you could tell we're joking.
Oh, but people can't do that nowadays.
Oh no.
People cannot differentiate between reality and sarcasm.
And it was like, what bothered me the most about the whole thing is that we Republicans, we conservatives, we on the right are supposed to be the ones that use a little more brain power. We don't just automatically hate. We just don't automatically do that kind of stuff. And these folks could not wait, bro. Because I had just gotten back from Gothix's wedding, right?
Right.
I had not eaten much. Leon had messaged me, and I had just woken up, and I had mistaken what he said. And Leon's a smartass. He's like, fuck you, never mind, I don't want you on. Okay. So I took it as gold. I was like, all right, so he doesn't want me on. Next thing I know, I get a message, when are you getting on the damn stream? Okay, I guess I'm getting on the damn stream. So I had just heated up my lunch, and I had brought back pastries from Rhode Island.
Right.
I wasn't letting those get cold for anybody. So I took them over, and every time I ate, I covered my mouth on stream, or I leaned over when I took a bite. So you never physically saw me chewing. You never physically saw me take a bite. People railed on me. How classless I was, how disgusting I was, how the fat hippo couldn't put the food down for 2 seconds. All this shit.
Really?
Oh my god, dude, it was bad. And some people said that they got nauseated watching me cover my mouth.
Oh my gosh.
Right? And
These
I won't lie.
These
I got a
people
little-
are idiots.
And I was like, bro, we're supposed to be the ones not doing this. What are you doing? But they were, oh my god, it was hilarious. If you want, you should definitely go watch it.
Oh, I will. I will find it. I will do some digging.
Because it was so sad. It would have been posted back in either July or August. But yeah. So my problem is that we're supposed to be the ones that don't do that. We're supposed to be the ones that are above that. And what bothers me, and again, what did I say earlier? Extremism breeds extremism.
Mm-hmm.
Now, whenever I get on someone's stream, if somebody doesn't automatically realize who I am, I automatically get, oh my god, a blue hair. Oh my god, shut her up. They see me as a fat blue hair.
Yeah.
That's all
Because
they see.
That is what they have been trained to think.
Not only trained to think, they not only are trained to think it, they respond immediately.
Mm-hmm. They get caught hook, line, and sinker. There is no way that Monty Python would be able to survive if the conservatives or Republicans were in charge today. Same goes for the liberals and Democrats. There's no way. Both Monty Python would be too liberal or too, quote unquote, far left for the Republicans and would be too far right for the Democrats.
They would, when I tell you, nothing of comedy would survive today. Nothing.
Oh, I want to punch Jim Gaffigan in his face because he told John Cleese that he was going to hell. Because John Cleese made a simple statement at a fan expo or like a comedy convention. It was a bunch of lefties and then John Cleese, who's not conservative or Republican or anything like that. He's freaking British.
They got their own style.
He was talking about how John Cleese was talking about how he feels like comedy is like the last place where you can actually say funny jokes or whatever, and then the liberals, this is all paraphrased, the liberals basically said well, shouldn't some things not be talked about? And then he said no, everything should be talked about.
Right.
And they very, very vaguely and very in a roundabout way basically told him to go off himself, that Jesus doesn't like you, that you're gonna burn in hell, stuff like that. They told that to John Cleese, a legend in the comedy scene.
And that's the thing, again, they I fucking can't. I really can't.
Talk about, number one, not having any respect for your elders. Number two, not having any respect for your betters. Because there's no way that Jim Gaffigan comes anywhere close to John Cleese.
No. Not even in the same Gaffigan I only know because other friends like him. I'm sorry, but Cleese is a legend. Gaffigan is a current.
And I want to find that. I want to find that. Let me see if I can find that.
Because I just that grosses me out immensely. You have no idea what you're talking about. Not you, obviously, him.
Let me see.
Do you know what?
Yes. This is exactly. Now I remember. It was John Cleese.
Yep.
And Jim Gaffigan and a couple other people, and the topic of, and this might set you off, I hope it doesn't, because we're wrapping up the show, the topic of reparations came up. And John Cleese said that he wanted reparations from the French and from the Italian, because the Romans enslaved the ancient Britons, and the French basically took over the entirety of England by William the Conqueror.
And if you look back, if you are still finding evidence of the Roman occupation today. And we're talking not just whatchamacallit, in random things. We're talking Random farmers will go out into fields anywhere in England and find caches of Roman artifacts. And we're not talking like peasants, we're talking like Roman nobility, Roman dictators, the military. So why is it theirs is, see, you are going to get me to go off.
I know.
Here's my thing. If reparations are important, then it means they're important for everyone. But the problem is, the Moors and whoever else were in ancient England, they don't count.
So he puts it there very concisely. He says people get competitive about this business of being oppressed.
Very much so. And that's a perfect way to put it.
And so it's...
You were not as oppressed as my people. Okay, so the Irish were slaves as well. They were not slaves like we were. Okay, so the Jews were slaves. They were not slaves like... No, they were slaves for thousands of years. You're right. And they were enslaved by your people. But okay, go off.
It was from March 11th of this year. It was Austin, Texas, the South by Southwest convention.
Good thing I didn't go.
So that it was some dude named Duclay Sloan, Ricky Velez, and Jim Gaffigan. And then let's see, what did they say? So they took away his mic when he said that. They took away his mic.
Gaffigan or?
No, the person moderating the microphone. No, it was Sloan. So Sloan then took away Cleese's mic and said, I saved a comic whose career I respect. He continued regardless, saying, I want reparations from Italy. And then the Normans came over in 1066, making light of the situation as Cleese continued in spite of his fellow comedians trying to stop him. Moderator Dan Pasternak told the audience, and this is why your phones are locked up. So Cleese says, the thing is, I'm going to be dead soon, Cleese said later, explaining his remarks. That's why I'm in favor of global warming. I don't want to be cold ever again. And then... Oh, this doesn't have it. One of the comedians, and I can't remember if it was Jim Gaffigan or not, says, oh, I don't think you're going to have to worry about the cold, meaning that he's going to hell. I remember that this article has removed that statement. That's fun to notice, because that's what I took away from that whole debacle. Is you have a bunch of younger comedians that quote unquote still have careers to worry about, disrespecting an older comedian that is far superior in almost every single facet of being a comedian. They take away his phone. They make fun of him. They try to ridicule him in front of an audience. And then one of them says, "Oh yeah, well you're basically going to hell anyway because you think this way."
And that's my thing. Think about it. Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy, Sam Kinison, John Belushi. Even I don't like him, but everyone he was on SNL. Chris Farley. None of them could do today what made them famous. None of them. And they're some of the most iconic and hilarious comedians out there. But
listen to this title.
What?
I love reading news reports and the titles, like just the headline. I love it. Because I actually like reading the article. John Cleese had thoughts on slavery at South by Southwest, and it was super cringy. The Hollywood Reporter.
That isn't what he's... What? See, people come outside, they don't go to the bathroom. Yeah, I know. Ark brought this up and I wanted to talk to it. It's only 11 minutes.
Usually like, okay, 3 o'clock, let's go.
Yeah, I know, but Ark brought up a really interesting thing and I had to hear it. My husband was wondering how I'm still on because usually I get off by now. The dogs are all... So the dogs actually know when I wind down a show. Because I say certain things. And they run in here. to say goodbye. It's kind of funny. But anyways,
Let's see.
no, when it comes to everything going wrong with comedy, it rolls right back to what I said at the beginning of this stream. It starts with one thing, with curtailing language. And then it morphs into everything else. Look, Cookie, shut up! I'm getting distracted. Yes, I am distracted. I haven't eaten yet today, remember? I'm easily distracted. And also, this wing is taking a lot of concentration.
I need to make a correction. It was not Jim Gaffigan that said that. It was Dan Pasternak who was the moderator.
I know.
Let me read this. Let me read this passage. Gaffigan, who was largely silent throughout all of this, said to Cleese, "The bravest people are never the ones that tell you that they're brave, you know. Like you're saying some shit here that people say, I'm so brave. They never say some of this shit. Well, the thing is, I'm going to be dead soon," Cleese said. "That's why I'm in favor of global warming. I don't want to be cold ever again." Pasternak cracked. "Where you're going, you won't be."
And who... I want to see what he looks like. Matt, show me him really quick, Pasternak. I want to see what Pastor looks like.
Dan Pasternak.
I want to see, and the reason why I want to see, because in my opinion, okay, so he's literally nobody. And here's why I say that. If you are a true god of comedy, then even somebody, then there you go. Then you are somebody that even someone like me, who doesn't really pay attention, should see you. In my opinion, a legend should be known in every level. For instance, Whitney Houston. We all know who Whitney Houston is. She was a legend. John Cleese. Richard Pryor. Again, when you're a legend, your work speaks for itself. Go away, Scam Likely. But I think this is a good place to leave it off on. Because, seriously, the intolerance that they show, it's really sad, but it's so obvious. Celine Dion is not better. I think they're on equal grounds. And I love Celine Dion.
Right.
But I went to her concert. She's the first concert I ever went to. Fun fact.
Nice.
But who's here that can put up Arc Soul's stuff to follow? Chaco, do you want to really quickly grab his stuff and put it up? And guys, I hope you enjoyed the conversation today. Thank you for coming with me. I'm glad we got to start on this very intimidating, commission. The most complicated one that I took on. Art, thank you for joining me today.
Oh, it was a ton of fun.
I try to be fun. I try to be entertaining. But I want to thank you guys all for being here. Again, this month is going to be very wonky. I've got a lot of stuff going on. The last 2 weeks of October and even the first week of November, there is going to be a lot of uploads more than anything. Probably no streams whatsoever, because I'm going to be traveling, and then I'm going to be taking part in my brother's wedding. And there's Halloween, and guys, you know how much I love Halloween. And Enya's okay, but Enya's good, but she ain't on Celine and Whitney's level. But anyways, guys, I want you to keep an eye out on No System this weekend. Just saying. I really think you should keep an eye out on No System, because there's some big things happening, at least for me. And right. I'm off to Vegas on the 17th. But guys,
I will be off to Orlando on the 27th.
Ooh, that'll be swank. See all down. What are you doing in Orlando? Oh wait, isn't that the convention?
Yeah, that's the convention.
Ah, you go have fun. Drive to see Leon while you're there. He's over there in some area. I don't know where. Somewhere in Florida.
I believe that Rady is going to twist his arm to come down at least once.
If anyone's gonna convince him, it'd be radio.
Yeah.
It's the only person I think that could ever convince him to do that stuff. Whatchamacalls it. But here's what I will tell you guys. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you for being on here. If you want to follow me, here's all of my socials. As someone asked, yes, I do have a Patreon. It's right there. You can look me up on there. Starts as low as $1, goes up to $20 a month. Everything is available except you get a couple of extra perks, like you get a couple more prints if you ask for them, and you get a full commission at the full $20 tier. I upload unedited, at my own detriment, unedited filmings of my videos to my Patreon, so you get to see it early, and you also get to see all my fuck ups and if I make mistakes. So also if I argue with my husband or if I yell at the animals. So enjoy. And
It's
which
the best.
I promise you, it Hawaiian, it happens, doesn't it? If you guys like what I do, all that stuff, make sure to follow me on all the rest of my socials. Please remember to tell the people that are important to you that you love them and to be safe. So guys, I love you. Be safe. Ark, I love you. Be safe.
Thank you. Love you too, Star.
Oh, yeah. All right, you guys have a fun day. Remember to enjoy your weekend. It's spoopy time, everybody. Oh, also, tomorrow's my 10-year wedding anniversary, guys.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you. Bye, everybody. Have a good day. I know, Orion. You're so ready.